coupons and shit.
Hmm.
But I never see fresh produce with a fucking a 50% offset. Like, I don't
Yeah.
understand
Yep. Okay.
why, like,
Yeah.
they don't do that.
For one key thing before we start D&D, what they do, fresh produce, they are not able to mark it down to sell because if they do that, it's technically not counted as a loss for the store. So if they throw something away or if something is stolen, they can write it off as a loss and get reimbursed. All the meat and stuff, they can do that and sell it for five. They could sell the meat for 5 cents for like a steak
Yeah,
because that can be written off as a store loss and they can get reimbursed for the cost. Fresh produce, they cannot do that.
that's
The
fucking.
only the only way for them to get reimbursed for fresh produce is to weigh it, mark it down, and throw it in the bin. That's how they make their money back from that. It's all about making as much money as they can and cutting costs wherever they can from that.
Makes you sick.
Yep. Anyway, shall we start?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yay! Yay! All right, cool. I'll do a quick rundown.
Ow.
Woo! Is music playing?
I don't hear anything.
Very quiet. There it is. Oh wait, my volume was way down. That's why. Last time in the wake of the battle against the lizard folk and stuff, Tygan and Ray ran ahead, tracking down that fleeing Tiamat paladin. He spoke to some of the survivors, told them to run to Crom's hold. Scarlet used her Oathblade to track the paladin named Phaela, and learned she was fleeing east at high speed. Basically resummoned her nightmare mount. He proceeded on and found the ruins of Reading Village. Art. Thanrea met 3 cowardly kobolds named honorable names of Scum, Trash, and Vermin. And you all found the place and settled in. Tykan and David talks. Tykan, you learned how David's mother died. She fought and killed a Balor.
So she went out like a Giga Chad.
Yep. I believe I've mentioned as well for you, Tykan. David did say his mother was the leader of the order at the time.
Yes, I do
Yes.
remember that.
Yep, cool. Wasn't sure if I mentioned it, so now I have. You were all scryed. There were multiple scry attempts. One on Tykan, one on Thanrea, and then one on David. And then Tykan, you were contacted by Phaela. She informed you that you will have your rematch before dawn. You were prepared, slept, and just before dawn, Phaela returned, along with a bunch of knights on Wyvernback and an adult black dragon, who you learned is Soko the Orphan Maker. You did battle.
Still a fun name.
You did battle. Phaela and Tykan faced off in single combat, and Tykan won and knocked her out. The reigning knights fought against the rest of you. Soko stepped in when he felt like it and melted 2 of his own guys to get a cheap shot on you. Archie summoned a tidal wave in the dragon's belly, causing it to become bloated and able to speak, fly, or use its breath weapon. Archie then froze the water using Ice Storm, which caused the dragon to become massively wounded. The dragon called for help from the 2 remaining knights, who turned on the dragon because you'll find out why, but they turned on the dragon. And with the 2 knights, Scarlet, Thanrea, and Tykan, and Archie blasting away, Thanrea was able to get the finishing blow on Soko the Orphan Maker. Thanrea's weapon got upgraded, awakened, as it were, as you got the killing blow. You spoke with the knights. You learned that their villages are now threatened due to their actions here. and you discovered that Phaler's glaive is a cursed weapon crafted by Asmodeus, which feeds on the souls of the innocent. And you were unable to break the weapon. So, the battle has concluded. You are, as you see yourselves on the map there.
Alrighty.
It is the rain is beginning to subside. If you remember, there was like a control weather effect affecting the weather to make it raining,
Sure.
and that is now subsiding. And you can see the beginnings of light from on the horizon. Dawn is approaching. What do you will do?
I'm gonna just, lay on hands to stop the bleeding from her severed arm.
I believe you did that last session. But
I
yes.
already did that. Yeah.
Cool. Yep.
Okay, just making sure because I really didn't want her to bleed out.
Yep.
Do we want to take the arm?
I mean,
We could give her a hand.
anything that I could reattach the arm can just grow her a new one.
True. All right, let's get to skinning then.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
The two knights and wyverns sort of ride back a bit just to give you some space, and they just sort of watch this.
My my packed weapon turns into like one of those like curved blades with like the hook at the top.
Yep.
I'm like,
Let's
"Here
go.
we
A giant skinning knife.
Yeah.
Cool. As you two start to carve away, I'll get if you want to roll individually, or someone can help the other and roll advantage.
What is the roll?
This will
Yeah,
probably be a survival check, I'd say.
What's your survival taken?
I do believe mine is a 0.
Oh fuck.
What's yours?
0. Do you want to roll individually or do you want to roll? I give you advantage.
You know what? We should roll individually. I feel like we have a higher chance of success.
Okay.
It's at our spectacular failure, but
Ah!
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Okay. Where are my dice? Come and roll some damage. Then Rhea, you find a good bit of flesh and begin to cut to try to get some hide.
I'm still learning.
You take 24 points of acid damage.
Halved. Whatever.
So 24 half is 12.
Oh, 12.
As you begin to cut off some of the dragon hide and reveal an acid pocket that just sprays all over you.
It stinks.
Tygan, you only take 6 points of acid damage.
Let's go.
And you are able to get. What are you trying to get? Like enough for a cloak?
Well, just like the last dragon, I want to process the whole thing so we can put it in a bag of holding.
Okay. You get a sense immediately, Tygan, that you will not be able to process the whole lot. The stink of decay is coming off this dragon at a rapid rate. Whatever acid was held within its body is now breaking it down rapidly.
Well, then in that case, I would simply just cut off a wing. I'll take care of that later.
Yep.
And
That's fine. The wings aren't breaking down, so you have time with that. It's
okay.
mainly the core torso of the dragon is where all the acid is kept, and now that it's dead, acid immunity is gone, so it's breaking down under its own acidic goo.
I'm gonna need its heart because there's a special organ attached to dragons' hearts.
Yep. You carve through and get to that. That's quite an internal bit, so you do take another 13 points of acid damage.
All right.
You can lay on hands yourself, by the way. Like there's time. It isn't like an action.
Oh, you're right.
anything.
I'll just top myself back up to 40 HP.
I-
Easy.
I imagine Tycan sort of like carving through, getting sprayed with jets of acid, and healing himself and continuing to go. Like,
Yes, sir.
you do manage to get the heart.
Um. And I would just mostly want the head and skin. What I can get with that.
The head can be removed pretty easily with your sword.
Yes, sir.
It
Out
is a
of bed,
large head.
too.
It is a large head. It's definitely not a bag of holding item.
I mean, I'll just do like the Witcher, and I'll tie it to the side of
Yeah, that's
silver.
fine. I will get you to make another survival check, Tygan.
Oh
You
my.
you remove the head and see that it's starting to melt by itself, and seeing that carve into various bits of the head to find a few more acid glands in its head and upper neck area. And you carve those out, taking another 4 points of acid damage in the process.
Get
The
the
head-
claws.
The
How much
head is
acid damage.
4 points.
Okay.
The head is no longer breaking down, and you have the head. The rest of the skinning can be done in pretty short order, as it's just skinning and not going into too deep. You were able to get skin for what, armor and cloak? Well, armor, really, right?
Yes. Yeah. Just armor.
Just armor. You managed to get enough skin for armor for you.
Just
Get the
in
nails.
case.
Get the claws. Get the claws.
Oh, I'm sure the claws will be fine. That's the extremities.
Yeah, the extremities are fine. It's the core body that's breaking down rapidly.
Oh, that's cool. We got 2 wings and 4 legs then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm putting
yeah,
another black dragon wing on my cloak.
Yeah, as you manage to gather all those things. In the meantime, what is Archie and Scarlet doing?
Good question.
Has Tyken and Thenray actually? I'm guessing Tyken lay on hands, Fela, when
He
when
did.
got her
He-
arm
he-
chopped off.
He did. So when Thenray took the arm off, Thenray laid on hands to stem it, and it's fine. Fela is currently on the back of Silver and is unconscious.
Yeah, she knocked out.
The glaive is sitting on the ground somewhere in the street. And you can see the little black tendrils reaching out on all sides, trying to reach for things. You can see a rat moves past, and the tendrils grab it and squeeze it and kill the rat.
Nice.
I could imagine that it fell like here, but then it's just as time's gone by, it's like slowly just
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
just
cast
wiggling
a
little
spell
bit.
moving
magic on
itself.
it
Cool. I'll get you to make an Arcana check.
at 4th level because I don't want to waste
Yep.
all my 3rd level spell slots.
Yep.
Did you say Arcana check?
Yes, please.
Wow. Or is this? Do you want me to just roll on intelligence?
So it should be intelligence, but that's fine. You attempt. I'll just use that roll. It's a d20 plus 5. Yeah. So you rolled a total of a 13. It looks like.
Mhm.
As you attempt to dispel it, it is not suppressed. And as you attempt to release a spell, the weapon notices you, and you see the tendrils crawling itself along the ground towards you slowly.
I step away a little bit.
It's
And
very
then
slow.
I'm gonna
Like,
try it one more time.
Like it's very slow. I mean, like, you know, a brisk walking pace is enough to.
Oh, I just take one step back
Yeah.
nonchalantly, and
Yep.
then I try it again.
Okay, try again. Just an intelligence check.
Hey.
There we go.
and as you just reach out and dispel magic, the tendrils which are reaching towards you, crawling as fast as they could, which is pretty slow, suddenly the tendrils all die. They just wither. You absolutely believe that it is not permanently suppressed, it is temporary.
I look at it with my glasses to see what the magic's doing inside the weapon.
You see that the magic is sparking, like it's failing to start. It is absolutely suppressed and is absolutely going to come back at some point. This is just using your detect magic vision.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's like it's there just very briefly, like it's sparking with arcane power. Just it can't quite start. But it is now sitting there dormant.
And David's alive, right?
David is. David is now on his feet with Charlie helping him to his feet.
There we go, Mr. DM. I posted what I was actually going for. It's called the Fundamentum.
Okay. I'll save it and look at it later. Ooh. The two Tiamat Knights, by the way, just sitting on their wyverns, sort of patching up their own wounds. But Archie, you have suppressed it temporarily.
Very good. I look at the team at nights.
Yep. They look at you.
So what are you gonna do now?
They look at each other, look back at you and say, well, we're trying to figure that out. Because what we've done here, our villages aren't safe.
Acting like you didn't survive this fight would probably be fruitful.
I thought we were trying to tell him.
Well, that's an option, but we have people we care about in our homes.
We care about them too, you know. But you put them at risk of more danger if you go anywhere near there. Her included.
They look at Phaela, unconscious in the back of Silver, say, her village is doomed.
Yeah?
Nivixel doesn't take kindly to his champions failing.
The thing is, for what he knows, his champion's dead. And I'm pretty sure he's going to be really, really happy with the fact that one of his brood is dead too.
One of the knights pulls off his helmet, and you see he's human. He's got some acid burns on his face, but they are long since healed.
Mm-hmm.
He says, he looks at you with this serious look and says, "You don't understand. The village is in the swamp. Their purpose is to serve Nivixel, and when a champion is chosen, they are used as a motivational tool."
I understand exactly what you're saying, don't worry.
The last time one of Nivixel's champions fell in combat, Nivixel responded by melting the entire village.
Cool.
Whether or not Phaela's alive or dead doesn't change what will happen to her home.
Yep. Very true.
For us, however, we aren't as much of importance to Nivixel. So, while their villages may be in danger, it's less so than hers.
Mhm.
But we've seen the truth of what they do when the tables are turned. Vixel and his brood always talk about the value of strength. That the weak die and the strong thrive. Today we saw that Soko was weak. That's why we turned. Maybe we could go back to our villages and tell them what we saw. Maybe we can get others to join us to desert Vixel.
Well, Nivixel's going to die soon anyway.
Well, if you can do that, and they point at the icicle still sticking out of the body as Tycan's carving around the ice.
Just to clarify, Nivixel's an ancient black, right?
Yep.
Vixel is an ancient black dragon.
Okay.
Just like, oh.
Yeah, pretty much.
They look at you, Archie, and say, "And what will you do with her?" And they point at Phaela.
Well, one, she's forsaken her cause. She's already forsaken her cause. Two, she's done her duty. Three, in theory, she's dead. So, I'm going to wait until she makes a decision. I'm sure that decision will be, I'm going to go save my village. That being said, I will help her in every way possible to do that. That's if the village is not already destroyed by the time we get there. But first port of call is procuring a new weapon arm, per se. And I'm not just saying the weapon itself. You know, I'll do a motion like her arm got chopped off.
Yeah.
And I think I have a way to do that.
And
Hello?
I think I have something to assist with that. And I hold up the fundamental.
What?
Yeah.
What? Sorry. Sorry, say again, Tycan. You cut out at the end of there for me.
Internet. Anyway,
No, what?
Tycoon was like, I think I have a way to assist with the creation of a weapon for her as he holds up the fundamental he carved out of the dragon.
Oh, yep, I gotcha.
I'm going to try and make an acid blade.
Ooh.
And I'm going to try and not do the generic thing of regenerating her arm. I'm going to try and make her a mecha hand.
Mm.
Hey. That's pretty
That would be cool.
Yes, sir.
I like where your head's at.
Yes, something different. I like this. And whatever path she shall choose, well, I'm pretty sure she already knows that Tiamat's followers haven't really been kind to her. As well as Tiamat herself, as well as the dragons themselves. So I'm pretty sure she's going to be coming into a oath-bound peril. I put quotations up.
They nod. So, I don't know the full extent of her past, but I have great respect for her for what she's done.
So do I.
Not for this, and they gesture at the ruined village around them, but her will to survive.
I believe that she didn't want to do this. I believe that she only did this for the sake of her interest in protecting her village. And now that a lot of this unfortunate circumstance, I'll say, compared, well, I say that even though it undersells this. I point around at the city.
Mm.
But the thing is, we're in a world at the moment that is controlled by the chromatic dragons that have literally rendered us under 90% of favored. And if I was one, I scratch the back of my head, to undersell or undercut someone for destroying a village, then what am I?
Mm.
I wiped out Neverwinter. And I'm still paying for that.
They both nod in understanding.
But that doesn't mean I'm a bad man. I was just a man willing to do what needed to be done.
They say, then we are alike in that way.
That being said, though, there is a lot more work to be done.
And I'd say,
Whether it be your own, whether it be our own, whether it be her own. And no one can do anything if they're dead. So, I will ask one thing of you. If the time comes, will you help us?
they look at each other and sort of nod at each other, look back at you and say, if we can, we're going to fly back to our villages, gather who we can, and evacuate
A sound plan.
before Navixel decides to turn on us, on them.
And we'll do all that we can to hamper any damage that Nivexel might be able to do elsewhere.
You know, and say, if you're planning to go after Navixel, you should be aware of this.
Mm-hmm.
There are dozens of villages in the swamp,
Yep.
all of them under the rule of Navixel,
I understand.
all of them fighting because they have to, because their villages will be destroyed if they don't fight. That
The
is
thing
who will
is-
stand. That is who will stand in your way if you come towards Navixel.
Well, we just need to get to Nivixel. And then they don't have to fight anymore. A
Easier
simple
said
thing to say,
than
an extremely hard thing to do.
Easier said than done.
Yes.
I have heard, says one of the knights, I have heard about Navixel. Why he's such a terror.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that the black dragons cannot be hurt by acid.
Mm-hmm.
Navixel is stronger than those.
Doesn't surprise me.
We've heard stories of Navixel being able to stand in pools of acid. And instead of just not melting, Navixel seems to absorb it and regenerate from it.
Archie thinks for a moment.
Mm.
But that can be used against him.
How so?
Usually when a higher power gets a power that allows them to exponentially empower the thing that they're empowered around, usually creates more weaknesses. He may
Archie-
be stronger against acid, but that doesn't mean that he might become weaker to other elements because of that.
That is true. I'll get you, Archie, to make me a history check.
Ah, history check. Yata, 15.
Ah, cool. Archie, you recall from your days teaching in Neverwinter
Yep.
about dragons, because you did teach all subjects,
Mhm.
about the various stages of dragons from wormling to ancient.
Yep.
And you recall that you recall that there are stages of ancient getting up to the level of Great Worm.
Yep.
And at some point in that transition to Great Worm, along the way, various empowerments come along, including the ability to heal from the element they're immune to. This would indicate to you that Navixel is an ancient dragon.
Yep.
Well over 1200-year old.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a god boon. This is a it's so old boon. Just for your future reference, you know that now.
Yep. I have an idea.
Mm.
Archie has an idea,
Mm.
but I don't want to say it because it might make Sept a little bit too erratic.
Is at this point that
I
Charlie
mean-
and that Charlie approaches with David, Charlie holding David up, and David looks over at these two knights on wyverns. There's still more of them, and David goes to reach for his sword.
David, shut up.
But
They're fine.
they're the enemy.
Are they attacking?
No, but we shouldn't wait for them to attack.
They're not going to.
Yield.
His hand remains on his sword, but he's not moving. Also, he can't stand properly because Charlie's holding him up.
That's fine. He can keep his hand on the sword. I won't blame him for wanting to do that.
You should head off now.
They nod. They will. Do you have any means of hiding Phaela from magical senses?
I do, even though I don't really want to use them, but I do.
I would advise that you do it in the war camp, just a little bit east in the swamp. There's a hag that worked for Soko. She's the one that summoned this storm as cover of our approach.
Mhm.
She was the one that was trying to locate you before.
Right.
No doubt she'll be trying to find Phaela.
Yo.
And if she finds Phaela, she will let Navixel know.
I'll figure it out.
Okay. They nod. And with that, one of them goes over to the dragon and says to you, Tyken, may I? And holds up his own sword.
I can nods.
The knight is going to... Ooh. You notice, Tyken, he's very, very good at survival.
Mhm.
Probably his virtue of living in the swamp all his life. He takes a little bit of damage as acid burns him, but he takes off a carving of black dragon hide. Not a lot, just a handful.
Then he can have as much as he wants. It's fine. There's plenty here.
He takes just a bit, just a handful. Just, you get a sense, Tyken, just as proof that he's got a bit, that Soko fell.
Understandable.
Something to show his village that they're not invincible. With that, the knight nods and says, if we see each other again, I hope it's on the same side.
As do I.
with that, they both kick the sides of their wyverns. The wyverns roar, their wings flap, and both wyverns take off, and they fly directly southeast, taking off into the morning sun. As they have gone, David is approaching. Charlotte, what are you doing? As these knights leave.
Mm,
Nothing?
Is that the me or the Josh?
To Scarlet.
Oh, Scarlet.
um,
Probably.
nothing. She'll just keep
Nothing?
an eye out.
Yep.
While people recover.
Just keep an eye out. Cool. Tykan, Thanrea, you finished your harvesting.
Yes, sir.
It is at this point that you're basically done, but it's at the point of you almost need to back away from the remainder of the corpse, as it is starting to stink like crazy.
Nice.
That's fair.
If you stay around it for any longer, you get a sense you'll probably be poisoned. By
I'm
just the
immune. Let's go.
By the fumes. You're immune to poison.
I thought I could get rid of poisons anyway.
You can.
Let's go.
Alright, if you keep going, make a con save.
I got what I wanted. I'm just memeing.
Okay, cool. It's fumes of like acid and breaking down dragon flesh coming off it. It's awful.
It smells like you talking.
Sounds like hard work then.
And what's interesting as well is
Dragon.
and what's interesting is the ground, the dirt and stone underneath the dragon's corpse is actually beginning to give way and decay away the ground where it fell. Not a lot, but it's going to be a hole in the ground when this dragon finishes breaking down.
Oh no.
Mhm.
I have a question to ask, Matt.
Yes.
How long do I think Thaler will be
Unconscious.
unconscious?
Well, if you approach her, she's unconscious on the back of the horse. If you want to roll a medicine check.
I will do a thing. I would like to do this.
Ah, very good. As you cast a spell and suddenly your knowledge of physiology and medicine comes to you.
Yeah.
With a 9 total. With the borrowed knowledge.
That's rough.
You are unsure. She's unconscious and is definitely stable.
Archie, Thanrea, Scarlet, do you have any idea how long she'll be passed out for?
Uh,
It depends on how hard Tarkin hit her.
Mm.
Everyone
Tyken
wants
just
to-
kind of shrugs. Tyken will try. Because I don't really know, but
Ayo!
I know everything.
Tyken, Tyken, you think an hour or two at the most. She'll be unconscious.
Tyken walks over. He inspects the goose egg he left on her. It says, about an hour or two, I'd say. Last time I left a goose egg this size.
Okay, we have an hour and a half to do what I want to do.
Ooh.
All right.
Charlie, you're going to hang here with David.
He says, understood.
We
It
have some
helps.
work to do, and we'll be back in an hour.
Very well.
You want to leave Kalaya here too, Thanrea?
Sure.
The 3 kobolds come out of the house. And say, the god is dead! And they point at the dragon's corpse.
I'm going.
I'll tell the 3 kobolds to stay with the warg and the spectre.
They say, "Yes, God."
Please tell me they all try to climb up on Kalaya and they fail horribly.
They climb up on Kalaya and actually jump on quite effectively.
Oh my god.
Similar to like the way like baby possums hold on to the mother possum.
Okay.
So just go cling on it. And because they're small enough, they actually squeeze in between the armor plates and Kalaya's fur.
Yeah.
If you give them tiny hand crossbows, and now I've got walking artillery.
As they crawl into the fur, Kalaya looks a bit uncomfortable, and you can hear the sound of chewing going on inside the armor.
Oh my god.
The hell are you eating?
One of them sticks its head out, and you see it's chewing on a rat's tail.
Forget I asked.
It bites off a bit of this rat's tail and holds it out like an offering.
Oh.
I'll take it.
It's got kobold saliva on it, and it stinks. It was probably dead for a while before they ate it.
I'll,
my God took my food. Yay!
They do cheer as you take it. They're like,
I'll,
"Oh, what a good
I'll-
offering!"
I'll eat this later.
They all start chattering, and those of you who speak Draconic understand their brief chatter of, "Oh, you're going to be blessed by this gift. This is an amazing gift."
Know about
I'm just-
that.
I'm just gonna let them believe what they want. It's okay.
The spectre is going to go behind me, and I'm gonna sneakily pass that tail to the spectre, and it's gonna fly up and just like drop it somewhere.
It's fine, and the kobolds are pathetic, and they're already back to eating their rat.
Yeah.
The spectre disposes of the rat tail just fine.
Nasty.
With that, the kobolds are on Kalaya.
Yep.
What do you will do?
Where's Archie at? Oh, Archie's over there. What are we doing?
That is a good question.
What has Archie got planned?
Everyone stand in a formation of a circle.
I'll walk over.
Alright. I start drawing out a circle.
Okay, where are you teleporting to?
Sanctuary.
Okay, just you four, or are you taking Phaela with you?
I'm taking Phaela with us.
Okay,
I'll grab her.
so you're leaving Silver here,
Oh yeah, Silver can stay here. We're not gonna be gone for too long.
and the weapon. What are you doing with that?
I'm taking the weapon with us.
Okay, cool. You pick the weapon up. It is currently still suppressed.
Yeah.
Archie, you believe it's probably going to be suppressed for a couple of hours.
Yep.
So that's fine to carry for now. But even as you pick it up, Archie, you can hear the vaguest sense of whispering coming from it. Like the hag inside is trying to reach you but can't.
I bang it on the ground and say, stop.
No, bad.
No, bad.
Get in the corner. Think
Yeah.
about what you did.
Um, the whispering continues, but it's so subtle you can just sort of drown it out. It's fine. With that, however, you finish the circle, Archie,
Mhm.
and bam, and you disappear from there and appear in the sanctuary.
Okay, Tarkin, we have an hour and a half to get the dimensions of Phaela, figure out what we want to do with her arm and her weapons, and also rest ourselves. as well as deal with this. I hold up the weapon.
All right. I'll work on the weapon bit. You can work on the arm bit, and we can convene.
The steward
Okay.
Divide and
appears,
conquer.
and as you begin to leave the room, the steward appears and says, "Ah, welcome back.
Hello.
I see you have a new guest."
Yes, a guest.
Mm, a very guest. Ah,
Are
yes.
you aware? Are you aware this guest bears the symbols of Tiamat?
I do.
Ah, good.
As
Thank
he
you for
sure
that.
Hey,
were.
Stuart, is there a way to prolong unconsciousness?
Smack
In
him
here.
the head again.
I can raise as a fist.
That doesn't require blunt force trauma.
The steward says, "There are other means, yes.
How long?
Well, as long as you like, really. But if you don't want to cause damage, permanent lasting damage, no more than 8 hours.
I can do 8 hours.
Of course, there are stasis tanks." And he gestures in a direction.
Tyken's probably carrying her. Just with Tyken, we're like, come on, we have more time now.
As you are taken to a particular room with a large central tank, kind of like a healing tank sort of idea. And as you enter, the steward says, "This is a stasis tank. It doesn't really suppress the unconscious. It doesn't really make them unconscious, but it just sort of puts them in a state of stasis, frozen in this state for a period of time."
So if they gain consciousness within the stasis, they would know what's going on.
Oh no, sorry. It is a time for them doesn't pass.
Ah, so basically that would be stasis for the 8 hours, and then she'll still be unconscious for another hour and a half. Got it.
Yes.
So we have 9.5 hours ish. Sick. I put her
Ooh,
in,
I
the-
could
put her
take
in
my
the
time
tank.
and make it look fancy.
Put it in the tank. I'm pointing. Archie has like a chuckling childish grin in the tank.
I put it
you-
in
As you put her in the tank, as you put her in the tank, the steward says, he says to you, Archie, "You did formally order this, so this is just a security measure."
Mhm.
You watch as two disc-like objects protrude from the roof, and they look to have little arcane cannons on them.
Oh, Penraya.
Yes.
Penraya.
Yes.
Do
Pick a
you
bullet
still have
for us.
that amulet of non-detection and shit?
No.
Oh, I thought you did.
No. I haven't had. I haven't had that for a long time.
The steward speaks up and says, "Non-detection. Do you wish to hide this individual?"
Yes.
There is no need. May I remind you that the entire sanctuary is surrounded by 20 feet of lead on all sides.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. Sick. Don't worry about it.
Good luck,
Hit-
bitches. Try to find us now.
Good.
Phaela now floats submerged in the tank, and you watch as the magic takes hold and her slow floating suddenly freezes in place.
Okay, we have a little bit of time. Let's do it. Oh, first weapon. Anti-magic field. I gotta go.
Sorry, say
Stuart,
again.
come with me.
Yep. Steward comes with you.
Archie actually walks into a brisk jog.
Yep. Yep.
As an adamant sense of urgency washes over it.
Yep. Are you all following Archie?
I would ask if I could just go start on making her a new weapon.
You can do what you want.
All right, I'm gonna do that because Tyken wants to try something.
The others can
Okay.
do.
Yeah, Tiger, and you make your way to the workshop.
Yep.
All the equipment you need to make anything is there. And you get to work making a weapon. You can decide what you want.
So the idea I had for her was something that could be attached to said something that could make like be attached to a mechanical arm.
Mm.
Like I don't know if you're familiar with the wrist blade that Warforges can attune to.
Let me.
Yes.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
So, Seth, would you like to be regaled in the fact that I gave Charlie an arm blade?
Yes. That's what I'm working on. I want to work on the blade portion of arm blade.
Okay, we
um,
can work together on that.
So, as Tyken, you get to the workshop and run through
Mhm.
ideas. An image of the steward appears to help you through things and guide you through the sanctuary's features. The blueprints for Charlie's arm blade are there.
Let's go.
Let's
And
go.
you can make a duplicate Force arm blade for Phaela if you wish.
See, I don't want to make it just a force arm blade. The idea
Oh,
is I'm going to be experimenting with the fundamentum of the dragon because I want to give her something, an ultimate fuck you to Nivixal.
Oh, yep.
I want to use the fundamentum of the dragon to make it to where when she attunes to this blade, it gives her immunity to acid damage.
Ooh.
Brother, make one for all of us.
I have an idea for that.
Hmm.
I was going to say we make it a magical item that requires attunement, that when she puts a spell slot into it each day to actually make arm function, it works like a absorb / negate elements type spell effect.
Yeah, something that works.
Based
yes.
on her divine energy. And if she believes that what she wants to do, especially when it comes to Nivixal, it will do that. Because Archie is a benefactor of all elements.
Hmm.
Maybe depending on what slot she uses and her devotion to her new god or to whatever she believes in, she will gain resistances or negation compared to that. But because of her adamant hate towards Nivixal, it might be a bit stronger than usual.
Mm.
So, you know what I mean?
Hey, make me one fire.
Well, I need another fundamental. These are very powerful dragon organs, and so
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
obviously, I'm sure that the blade will also do some extra acid damage, but that doesn't really apply considering they're immune. So
And you've learned that Nivixal heals from acid, so.
yeah, so I would rather her get the immunity and stuff like like Dings was talking about, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Like,
So what do you want it to do?
especially
You want it to be
Yeah, so-
an arm blade, like a Force arm blade?
So the idea is the way I think it'd be cool if it looked. So you got a blade shape, but whenever a spell slot's put into it, about an inch away from the edge of the quote unquote blade, force blade appears.
That can I offer a suggestion?
Yes.
Matt,
Yes.
whenever she goes to Divine Smite, she gets to choose the element she uses rather than just Radiant.
Oh, Lord. That is.
So whenever she empowers it with her holy energy, she can go necrotic, fire, lightning, and sort of like absorb elements, whatever element she might try to use,
Hmm.
or would like she can actually revert that from damage to an immunity. So if she would like empower, say for instance, she gets to choose type of
Yep.
deal. If she wants to empower her glove for the day with acid, she can choose an element that she wants to be defensive of, or an element that she wants to be offensive of. Like only one though. Like she if she wants to be defensive in acid or offensive with acid, she gets to choose that when she puts the spell slot into her gauntlet or her arm and blade, right?
So empower the arm blade with a spell slot to grant immunity or damage.
You either
Yes.
or. You get to choose one or the other. Like damage on your divine smite or defense. Like basically I'm working this off the absorb element spell, where it's like usually if you get hit by something it'll empower it, but instead of being hit by something, she empowers it with her own spell type of thing.
Mm.
Right.
And as far as the looks go, I like the idea at the base of the blade. There's the fundamentum there, and it's kind of like been slowly transformed into a bit of metal, but it like pulses out like some sort of green magical energy that you see into what looks like blood veins in the blade.
Mm.
Well, I sort of want to. I've been thinking of like it pulses her with that, but with like her divine energy or whatever elemental energy she wants to choose with her new paladin path, so to speak.
A
Yep.
throbbing, veiny sword.
Yes.
So what I will say is, if you wanted to give her the ability to do this with acid or fire, sorry, with fire or cold or whatever, you would need to get a part of those dragons to get that
Yep.
happening. For now, you could do acid.
That is fine by me. I have the fundamentum right here. This is an experiment for Tyken.
We have two.
We do have two. We have
We have the
ice
green. Well, we have the
Ooh.
ice stuff. Sorry. Yeah. Don't we have
Wait.
ice? Like
I believe
Let
it
me
was
black,
check my
white,
tape.
and green?
We have white, black, green. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be poison, ice, and acid for now, right? In theory, if we wanted to.
Okay, and this is the spell slot that she puts into it to grant it either that element damage on Divine Smite or defense of those elements.
Correct. And the thing is, it doesn't have to increase the damage of the Divine Smite. It can change the damage, or maybe it just gives an extra, I don't know, a D8, right?
Yeah.
So
Cool.
because she's using a spell slot to do it anyway. So.
Yeah. Yep.
And she
Cool.
literally has to be attuned to it because it's literally attached to her.
One of the things you would have noticed, Archie, upon dispelling the glaive that she had, you did sever the connection of the attunement.
Yeah.
So she was attuned to that glaive. So she definitely has the attunement slot free.
But don't worry, Josh. This is an experiment for whenever we get the big boys fundamentums.
Big boy fundamentum.
I'm
Yes,
also going
sir.
to take all her Tiamat regalia off of her while she's in stasis.
And stomp on it. And
Well,
then spit on it.
I have
Cool.
Investiture of Flame, so I'm good for.
Cool.
fire.
Archie, removing her Tiamat gear. Firstly, she has full plate on, which has Tiamat symbols on it.
Uh-huh.
She has a cloak, which has the ability to cast Dimension Door once a day, which has
Yep.
been spent.
Yep.
She has a Tiamat amulet, non-magical, just a focus.
Yep.
She doesn't have a glaive anymore. You do notice upon taking the armor off her, on her back, like a full-on back tattoo.
Yep.
But it's not tattooed. It's, you know, those tattoos that are made. You know, there's body modification tattoos, the ones that
Oh, the
Ru- ru-
scarifications.
it's scarification. There is a scarification from shoulder to shoulder and neck to lower back, like the entire back is covered. In Draconic, a symbol of Tiamat with text in Draconic saying Navixal's property. And this whole scar has been put in with acid.
Is there a way for me to fix that?
Not so much for healing a scar. This would be a regeneration type spell.
Yeah.
I don't ever get access to that, so I can't either. Best thing I can think to do is a skin graft.
It's not magical. It's just a permanent scar.
Yeah, I can't think of any spell that's even up to 5th level that would fix a scar.
And I will say, because Tyken rolled a 20 on medicine before.
Oh.
Tyken.
Hmm.
She has been extremely unwell several times.
Ooh.
It looks like when she was a lot younger. She's in her mid-30s now. But
Mhm.
it looks like when she was a lot younger, she got very unwell several times. You believe them to be plague-type illnesses.
The con is strong on this one.
Tyken, only
Yeah.
you notice this, and I'm going to send it to you privately in Discord.
Ooh.
You notice that. Let me know when you got it.
Yeah.
You believe that
Oh.
not because of anything the Vixel did directly, but
Yeah.
just as a result of multiple really nasty diseases.
Well, I won't lie, he feels kind of bad for even noticing. Like, oops.
Yep.
But it's
Yeah.
fine. We got bigger fish to fry right now. I'm giving her a upgrade. We can fix her. We have the technology.
Yes. But yeah, Archie, you remove all the things. Some other non-Tiamat clothing are provided for her.
I'm sure I can have some sort of.
You have the means to make weapons. You have the means to make clothes.
Pretty sure I
And
can
armor.
give her some sort of like plate like that I have. So
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm
That
sure
can be,
we have extra full plate around here somewhere.
You do.
while we're doing some of this stuff, before I do the stuff with after I do the stuff with the cursed ass weapon.
Yep.
I guess I should do the cursed ass weapon shit first.
Yes.
I'm gonna put it in the anti-magic field and try to break it.
Okay. As you throw it in the magic field,
Mhm.
it is in there. You can see the magic is shut off entirely. Like the weapon is now non-magical.
Yep.
What do you do with it?
I want to break it.
Okay. Are you there alone doing it, or is Scarlet and Thunraya with you?
Anyone who wishes to be with me, I want with me.
Sure, we were just having a conversation, so.
Yeah.
Yep. And Tyken, just to confirm, is off making the weapon.
Yeah, I have extra time, and Tyken wants to make it look good.
Okay. How are you breaking it? I need to ask.
I'm literally going to get some sort of mundane, like, what's it called? Firelight cutter.
Yep.
And just cut it.
Okay. It's in the anti-magic field. The entire chamber is the anti-magic field.
Mm-hmm.
The door is locked, I presume, for security reasons.
Yep.
With Scarlet, Thunraya, and Archie in the room. I'm just going to move your
Yeah.
tokens over. Oh, put them over here. That's fine. You guys watch as Archie has a basically a blowtorch and cuts the glaive across the handle. The moment he does, there is a flash of red light before standing before you. You see a hag with black skin.
Take her in the anti-magic field.
She's in the anti-magic field.
Who looks about angrily. Looks about. What have you done? She says.
Got rid of the nuisance from the earth.
She growls and jumps at you. Roll initiative.
I was gonna say, cool.
Boop.
All of us, or just?
I thought this was gonna happen. That was like-
Scarlet, Thanrea, and Archie versus a hag.
Sorry, guys, I'm perfectionist with weapons. What can I say?
Well, you know, because
Um,
I'm standing right next to Archie as she lunges, I will use my reaction to attack the bitch.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that makes sense. As she gets and jumps at you, you can use your reaction, Thanrea.
I don't have any spell slots. God damn it.
You can't use them anyway because you're in a magic field.
We're in an anti-magic field, so it doesn't matter.
Oh shit. So 13.
As you hit her for 13 points of damage. As it is technically non-magical, she takes 6.
Oh well. It's gonna be fun,
As-
isn't it?
As the weapon is non-magical and this hag is resistant to non-magical.
But she stops in her place.
I'm
As
gonna
chink,
be whacking
you
for
hit
a
her.
while.
Unless your weapon is silvered. I know Scarlet's might be.
My I don't think it is.
Yeah. But Thanrea,
It's
you
a
hit.
packed weapon. Turn it into a brick of silver.
You can't. It's
I
non
can't change the material.
It's an anti-magic field as well. You can't change the pack weapon.
Oh
Say, hang on.
shit!
Say, hang on, guys. I gotta step out for a second.
I have an
BRB.
weapon.
Does the oh fuck?
The hag jumps
Wait.
at who's
My longsword of
Who-
blasting is technically a silvered blade.
Oh, there you
Yeah, let's go.
you
What-
thought of everything.
yeah. Archie thought of everything to make that weapon work, even in a non-magic environment. However, Black Rose, the evil hag, jumps at you all. Actually, no, sorry. She takes a step back across the chamber and doesn't understand. She doesn't know she's in an anti-magic field.
Tries to cast a spell.
She begins to cast a spell, and oh my god, you should be so happy you're in an anti-magic field.
Yeah.
She cackles evilly and says, well, 3 of you in a chamber with me. This will be fun. And she begins to mutter an incantation. Archie, I get you to make me an Arcana check, please.
She's trying to cast Chain Lightning.
No.
Oh shit, worse.
And you have advantage because this is a wizard spell. She's attempting to cast Disintegrate.
Oh, well. I know that one.
Woo! Thank God for that.
And she finishes the incantation and nothing happens. And she looks very confused. What have you
Yeah,
done? She says.
Sounds
I have
you're
done
stuck in
everything.
here with us.
That's her turn.
I do know. I no longer have these buffs.
You do not. Neither
I
does
don't
Scarlet.
have that. Oh, and I don't have. Where's the other one?
Archie, your turn.
Well, we all know how good Archie is in a physical environment.
Is the Force Blade technically? Is the Force Blade magical technically?
It,
Or
it
is
is.
it a?
It is.
100%.
It creates a blade of force. Yes.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Spit in her eyes, Archie.
Punch her in the gut.
It's a good thing I have this handy dandy dagger on me. Is it gonna do much? No. Is it gonna protect me a little?
really.
What else do I have? I don't even know. Oh, I
don't-
figured it out. I'm gonna pick up the broken glaive.
Yeah, absolutely. This can be wielded by you, Archie, because it is half a glaive.
It's no longer a glaive, it's more of like an elongated short sword.
Basically,
It's
yeah.
like a war axe.
Yeah, it's a war axe, yeah.
I'm just gonna hold it and move behind Scarlet and Zenraya,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
away.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
gonna pick
yeah.
it up and then I'm just gonna dodge and be like, "This is your shtick. I'm
Yeah.
gonna sit here. I've done my job."
Scarlet,
Hmm.
you don't give any crap about an anti-magic field.
Michael.
Welcome to the
good
fuck
old
zone,
smack
fucker.
Smack.
You run at the hag, and you hit for.
Plus.
It doesn't do force damage, so it does 12 damage, and it carves through the hag. The silvered blade hitting her hard.
That's gonna miss.
And 11 misses, unfortunately. Natural one.
Again.
Is that your turn? Again,
Se-
action surge. Yes.
17 for
Oh, sorry.
damage.
You have three attacks now, right?
I do.
He's a big boy now.
A 17 does hit for 10 damage.
Ah, yes, I have ascended as a fighter. I put more fighter in my fighter so I can fight more. Who would have thought?
My power increased by 50%.
As you're carving into the hag, she's attempting to dodge and things, but it's not helping. She's not the best in melee, especially against a silvered weapon in a non-magic environment. Take your turn.
Action surge. Do it.
Sure.
Hit him with it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nine
swing
damage.
again.
8 damage.
Yeah.
21 hits for
11
8 damage.
Let's go.
And 11. As you guys watch as in the space of 6 seconds, Scarlet swings 6 expert strikes. And with all those strikes, Scarlet, the silvered blade cutting multiple times, she's now bloodied.
Offhand. For 6 damage.
Yeah. I'm gonna look at the Oath Sword for a sec because I think it might be adamantine.
It is adamantine.
Yeah. I'm gonna say the adamantine also does the same thing.
Oh, cool.
12.
12 damage.
As Chink, she's even more injured.
That's the end of my turn.
It's your turn. Excellent. Thanraya.
Marked, by the way.
All right.
She is marked indeed. She's focused entirely on you.
Now hear me out.
Yep.
Can I? Hold on.
And by the way, Thanraya,
Yes.
the vision you saw of the hag when you touched the weapon originally last session,
Mhm.
of like the goo coming off her, this is that hag
Yes.
in physical form. The goo isn't present because that's a magical effect. but she is a hag.
Okay.
She's the same hag.
Now hear me out.
Hmm.
We are well equipped adventurers, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Am I allowed to take out some of the booze that I have,
Yes.
spit it on her, and then use a flint to strike it on fire and set her on fire?
Sure. she
That's
will.
fine.
She will have a dex save against it to try to avoid it. If you want to try it.
Yeah. I'll take out the bowl and.
What was you?
Although I don't know what that would be classed under.
It's fine. It's more of a dex save to avoid being spat on. She rolls a natural 3, so that's a total of 5. So,
She's an old frail lady.
she's a hag. She's not meant to fight in melee. She's not meant to be physical. You spit. There's booze all on her now, and it's extremely alcoholic.
Haha!
Cool. This is non-magical fire. I'll get you to roll me 2d4. Cool. As the fire ignites on her, and she's now on fire. She takes 3 damage, as she's naturally resistant to fire.
Ah, burning fire, bitch.
But with that said, she is now on fire.
Burning.
She's got to
holy
stop, rock, and roll, or
fire.
else.
I look at her on fire as I take a swig of the bird.
Yeah, it's pretty
Anyone
intense.
got
boys.
marshmallows?
That is my turn.
It's your turn. Black Rose's turn. Black Rose ignores the fire damage on her. I'll get you to roll the 2d4 again. She takes 3 more damage.
2 4s, that's quite good.
Black Rose runs past you, Scarlet, provoking an opportunity attack if you wish, as well as you, Fenrir.
Yes.
She stopped.
Okay, Scarlet.
She's
She
also
goes.
stopped.
She goes to run past you. Fenrir does 8 damage. She goes to run past you, running not at Archie, but at the door, which is currently closed. Attempts to get there, and you cut her as she begins to run and is unable to run. So she turns and is now desperately attempting to fight her way through. She's going to attack you, Scarlet. For a 20 to hit.
No.
What's your armor's magic bonus?
Oh.
No.
That is
That hits. Okay.
barely. Barely.
Yep. Only because the anti magic will suppress that too.
Yeah. The plus 2 becomes.
You take Scarlet 16 points of damage as she slashes at you with his claws, actually leaving little grooves in your armor.
And I have the temporary HP, right?
Oh yeah, that still remains. It's just you can't use the banner
Okay.
while
I
you
take
can't use the banner
1
while you're in here, but you would have used it before. Yeah.
We
There's
didn't heal up from before, right?
you,
No.
didn't-
Cool. My
you would have
89.
used the banner, I presume. But Scarlet, there are a set of claw scratches permanently on your armor now. Very minor, but they are there. They can be fixed. That's her turn.
Good.
She's not a melee fighter. Archie.
I'm going to dodge and sit back near the door.
Okay. Scarlet.
Swing, bada bada swing.
Wing.
14.
14 misses.
17.
17 hits for 12 damage.
26 for 7.
7. As you hit her these times, Scarlet, she is dropped to her knees. And you see her knees bend the wrong way, as she's a hag and unnatural.
Ew.
She's still alive.
Still alive on death's door.
19 for 7.
How would you like to kill the hag?
Yeah.
Painfully.
The second swing connects with her weird leg. Weird legs, and then the next one swings at the other leg, so that
Yep.
she is down, and then she shoves the O sword through her throat. And then cuts
You
out.
drive the oath sword down into her throat, and in an instant, she stops moving.
Pulls it out.
Yep.
Cleans it off.
Poke her with my sword.
Archie, make an Arcana check for me. Archie, you know that a hag this powerful, a hag capable of disintegrate and that sort of thing, will usually reform in the hells.
Usually.
In an anti-magic field, you are pretty sure that she is not going to reform.
Good.
This is a
blade.
perma-dead hag.
And even
Does
if she
that
does
work
reform, guess
against-
who's going to get to see her again?
I was gonna say, does that anti-magic thing? Do you reckon that'd work against other demons? And what is a hag classed as? Is it a demon?
Faye, usually.
Fae?
They're usually Fae. This particular hag is of the hells. So basically, a hag that spends enough time in the hells will become a fiendish hag.
Kind of like a night hag, I assume.
Yes.
Noted.
The hag is dead. The body remains there.
We can get rid of that soon enough.
I don't want to touch it. Have the steward do it.
Yes, I will do that.
The anti-magic field's still up. What do you do?
I think that's dealt with.
Hmm.
I look at the weapon.
It is non-magical. It is broken.
Hey,
You
that's
get-
free adamantine. I could use that.
You get a sense, Archie, that it's a basic non-magical glaive.
Cool. I'm going to take both pieces to Tyken.
Cool. As you turn off the anti-magic field,
Yep.
disable it, and step on out. And as you step on out, the steward is at the door.
Can you deal with the body in there?
Of course. The steward wait.
What a line.
Of course.
Archie walks out of the room. Can you deal
Yeah.
with the body in there?
There's a slight problem that's dead on the floor. I need you to make it never have
There's
happen.
a stain on the floor that needs to be cleaned.
The steward.
Clean up on aisle one.
The steward says, "Of course, Miss Scarlet, Miss Thunderhead, will you please step aside from the corpse?"
I would recommend gloves, sure.
Yep, she steps away.
It's a magical apparition. I don't think it needs gloves.
As you step aside, the steward simply clicks his fingers, and from the roof, a disintegrate beam goes and shoots into the night hag and turns her to dust.
That's exactly what I wanted to do, but I didn't want to waste a spell slot.
Well, it's already implemented. You don't need to waste it.
Let's go. I thought of everything.
As the hag is turned to dust, you then watch as several more flashes of arcane energy from the walls as prestidigitation removes the dust.
Glorious.
Fun place.
One hag and one accursed item dealt with. One god in hell, probably severely pissed off.
So here's the
You know,
thing,
his-
Archie.
Ends well.
So here's the thing, Archie. Asmodeus has no way of knowing what happened here.
I was about to say, but also, how is he supposed to know that what happened here today? There's a drop in the fucking lake of Asmodeus happened. That's all he
Yeah.
knows.
Yeah.
There's a disturbance in the forest.
But yeah, the hag is gone. What do you will do?
I'm gonna go to Tyken with the broken weapons.
Hmm.
Or the broken weapon.
The broken glaive.
Yep. I'm gonna dink off the blade part.
Yep. Think. Yep. You go in there. You see Taika in the process of working on this weapon design.
I walk up and I put the blade on the table.
Ooh. Yes.
I'm sure you can use this, right?
Indeed. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna stick it in his like super high powered crucible that I'm sure is in there and let it melt down.
Yep. Absolutely. It's gonna be adamantine then.
Oh! I'm a boss. Oh my god. Things just keep getting better and better.
As Archie, are you going to help with the weapon
Yes, I'm gonna quickly spend the next 20, 30 minutes going over Taylor's uh, body, like her arm, pretty much getting the dimensions right and everything. Doing engineering. That's what
Yeah,
I'm doing.
yeah,
I'm doing the general things
yeah,
that I need to do
yeah.
to actually get it correct.
Yep,
So,
yep, yep. So nothing. You don't need to do anything because the steward is able to take the measurements remotely from the tank.
oh, sick. That's even better.
And these are uploaded straight to the workshop where you see the exact measurements and what is needed to connect this prosthetic arm to the stump.
I'm going to use whatever leftover scrap of the Netherese plastics and metals that we have,
Yeah,
as well as Tyken's adamantine blade, and sort of try to like create a schematic where they form together
Yep.
and they function under divine magic.
What's interesting as you do this, Tycan, especially, I'm carrying over your nat 20 on medicine, Tycan, for this.
Oh, let's go.
Tycan, you notice that the Netherese plastic type material is actually really, really good for prosthetics because it means the body won't eject them,
Yep.
whereas adamantine might, and other metals might.
And this is what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, the Netherese plastics and stuff like that would work really well as a prosthetic. So,
in particular for the connection to the body.
yep.
And you're able to, both of you together, over the course of probably 2 or 3 hours, get the actual connection happening.
Mhm.
Which is the main part is getting the arm to connect to the prosthetic bit and actually send signals through it.
Yep.
But with that done, it's a simple matter for Tygan to forge his weapon with the tools
And
at his
speaking-
disposal.
I would. This is how I'm going to do it.
Mm.
I'm going to draw a bit of blood from her
Yep.
and try to infuse it into the enchantment.
I like it. Pour it
Ooh.
on.
So she is literally the only one that can use this because it's literally the enchantment is attuned to her own blood.
Okay. That
So
is
unless she has,
certainly
like,
something
a
to do.
descendant.
Mhm. I want this to be a this she can only use this type deal.
Yep.
So
I'm posting images of what what Tyken was wanting to do with the blade
Mm.
and how it looks.
which will also tie into the fact that the blade has sort of like the veiny pulse through it, right?
Yep.
Because it's tied to my
Mhm.
blood. So
Mm.
So, like, feel like that's a good example of what it would look like. He would do the engravings. It would be a nice purple color because that's what I imagine Yo enchanted adamantine
Yeah, absolutely.
with some veininess to it.
Mm.
I was thinking of like the veiny ready lightning sort of thing where it sort of like pulses through the lightning through it, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not like veins per se, but like the magic enchantment, sort of like when it flashes with magic, it's sort of like lightning through it. It's
Mm.
like, bzz, 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 you know.
Cool. Cool.
And depending on what element she puts in there, it changes the color of that. Like radiant is yellow, cold is like a light blue, poison and acid is like a vibrant green, right?
Mm.
Oh. And Tyken would also, while making this, he'd say a little prayer to Helm, ask that the sword never be used for evil, and he would put a little symbol of Helm on the blade somewhere.
Okay.
I'll put a
Like-
symbol
kinda
of
like a
an
maker's
Iyun on
mark.
it too.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
maker's marks.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are on there. During this
Oh,
process of
We can do like they did in Japan and put the maker's marks on the tang that's hidden in the like hilt. Well,
Mm.
arm. It would be hidden in the arm because
Yeah.
well, it's an arm blade. But yeah,
Yeah. Cool. And it is a sword that you're making, like an arm blade sword sort of idea.
Yep.
yeah.
Cool. Cool.
I think it's like a long sword, pretty much. But because
Yeah,
it's connected to her arm, she can like use it a lot better than just like a little blade, like a dagger or a short sword.
Yeah,
Oh.
Taiken is modeling after a Kara Turin style sword. For those of you who aren't in the know, Kara Turin is kind of like a D&D Asia.
Gotcha.
The real world equivalent is a Hanjian.
Yeah.
Ew. But yeah, as the forging goes on, what is Thenray and Scarlet doing for the next couple of hours?
No idea. I'm going to the day rest tank.
Alert train. Go work on
As
it.
you jump into the Thenray, you jump in the day rest tank and have a rest. Scarlet, you jump into one of the training rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Loading up a training program. I'll get you to make a perception check, as essentially, you get some sort of training program that helps you train alert.
What?
As you train for several hours, focusing on minute sounds and details and things, and that is
He's
what
literally just Archie with several pots and pans. Ding, ding.
No, actually, no. It's Scarlet. The training program loads up to be a thick, dense jungle with barely 10 feet visibility.
Mm-hmm.
You can't see anything, and you hear the sound of whistling as arrows begin to shoot out of the jungle at you.
Ah.
And you are forced to use your senses as best you can to try to hear where the arrows are coming and dodge before they hit.
Cool.
And after a few hours of this, that's 2 successes.
Yeah.
You are hit a few times, but they aren't damaging. They're just sort of illusory.
Mm-hmm.
But it's enough to train. It's real enough to train. Fenrir rests. A few hours pass, and the weapon is ready to connect.
I just feel like me and Archie are standing there with tongs. Archie's like steady, steady. And we're slowly putting it in. We hear a click. We back up. Nothing explodes. We high five.
Yep.
Jump up very high.
Yep. There it is. This blade, masterfully crafted. This blade for Taikan would have taken you weeks or longer in a standard forge, but this is Archie's arcane forge.
Mm-hmm. Well, it used to be Archie's Arcane Forge. Now it's mine.
The engravings are done in seconds because of the forging, the machines that are in here that are all controlled via a central panel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a full workshop. Like it's crazy.
If I can think some stuff, I could get used to this.
I can.
But the weapon is done. It's ready to be connected to Phaela when she wakes up. What you will do?
I'm going to go get cleaned up and have a rest.
Okay.
I'm gonna have a rest in the tank.
Okay. You have a rest in a tank. It only takes 10 minutes per tank.
I'm gonna click the long rest button.
You all can have a long rest if you wish.
Thank goodness, I'm on fumes.
I feel powerful again.
I'm gonna attach the gauntlet to Phaela as well as give her neutral armor, neutral other stuff that is just slightly blackened for her own aesthetic, I guess, but
Yep.
it has no insignia, nothing on her.
Yep.
And I'm gonna ask the steward if we have any non-detection magical items around.
The steward says, "I do have a. There is a stash that you left for a rainy day."
Okay, I'm gonna grab one and put it on her. And I'm guessing it's probably in some shape of fucking iron or some shit because that's just
There is an
Yeah.
Ioun symbol on it,
Yeah.
with a little eye on it, which is funny
Yeah.
because it's not going to be you can't be found.
yeah. It's a bait and switch. Archie sort of everything.
It is a non-detection amulet,
I am gonna put that on her as well.
which is achievement.
Also,
Yeah.
Scarlet gets her armor repaired.
Yes, it's an easy enough process to do. It only takes you 30 minutes at most.
Yeah, just had to make sure.
All right.
But with that, does Tycan get to see her spac scar?
I'm being decent, Taken.
I mean, I imagine if she was still on her stomach without her armor on.
Probably that one we're putting the gauntlet on.
Yeah. Yeah, so Tycan, you see the back scar.
Now, is there anything Tyken can do about it?
Unfortunately, not. This is a deep scar. This is a regeneration level thing that will need to be fixed.
Well, that's something I'll never get access to, unless Archie can teach me how to use higher level spell slots. Just throwing that out there.
Mm.
Shrug.
Shrug.
That's something that you might need to ask your god.
Mhm.
I mean, he does need a replacement for Cleef Kenrick. Just throwing that out there too.
I will say, if you do end up getting access to spells higher than 5th, you can only smite at 5th.
Oh yeah, I know. That's there's a
Yep.
damage cap on smite.
Lame.
Just so you know.
Balance.
What I can't remember. I think it's it's 5d8 normal or 68 against a fiend. That is the
Yes.
cap.
That is the cap. With good reason. Like, it's balance.
And
Yeah.
crits.
So you can't, one level dip into paladin and then take the rest into like sorcerer or something, and then just like slam something with a level 9 smite
Yep.
and absolutely annihilate it.
Yep.
Yeah, but why not?
But yeah. Anyway, you get Phaela out of the tank.
Mm-hmm.
Bring her to a table where in the workshop where you can attach the arm, and it attaches very, very well. There is a brief twitch in the hand portion of it, because does it have a hand or is it just a blade? Archie, Tycan.
What was
I
that?
feel
Sorry?
like it should have a hand.
Is it just a blade arm, or do you want it to retract into a hand?
I wanted to retract into a hand.
Oh, I
personally.
wanted to retract. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It has a little hand portion that folds away and reveals the blade. So as the hand portion is there, when you connect the prosthetic arm, there's a brief twitch and the hand flinches about for a bit as you notice the nerves are connecting. It is going. She is still unconscious, but it is connected. There are no issues. The steward who is floating about does say their connection seems to be solid. I'm sure it goes without saying, but you've done excellent work, as he says that to you, Archie.
I do a thumbs up. Would you expect anything less?
No.
It's like, no, I just expected more.
The steward says, no. Just, I do know how you like to praise yourself.
Oh yes, I am egotistical to a T, and my head is inflated at least 0.1%.
Yeah.
At all times.
Yes.
See what it does. He seems to still be unconscious, says the steward.
Good. We're going to be taking her away now.
Steward says, of course. And
We
with
have
that,
done everything that we need to do. We have rested, and we need to have more work to do.
with that, you carry Phaela to the teleportation to the gate.
I do, but I stop and I grab a shield because now she needs to learn how to use a shield.
Cool. You grab a shield.
Well, I'm gonna actually do two things. I'll grab just a mundane sword and a shield. Maybe she wants to dual wield instead. I don't know.
Yep, easy enough to do. And you do know that the knights that died in reading, they did have weapons and shields as well. But they're probably Tiamat ones, so
Yeah, that she's forbidden from even looking at a Tiamat symbol unless she's stabbing it.
Forbidden!
cool. You grab his weapons, you go to the gate, and are you teleporting to reading?
Yep.
Cool. It's been a few hours, so it's probably about midday-ish in reading
Yep.
as you bamf in. You appear in the center of the town. Because gate, you can choose to go to a location that you're aware of. You appear. And the moment you appear in reading, it is a nice sunny day. In the distance, you can see, still in reading, but obscured by some buildings, you can see the plume of black sulfurous smoke coming up from what is the left of the dragon after several hours of decomposing.
Ew.
And you hear the sound of a hand fold away, followed by the charging of an arcane arm cannon, as you see Charlie standing there pointing his weapon at you.
I just wave.
Charlie says, "Oh, you've returned. Marvelous."
We have.
Yes, sir.
He says, "David is resting.
Really good idea.
Good. He needed it.
You've been busy," he says, as he looks at Phaela with her new hand.
And completely new, outfit.
Says, "You're extremely industrious."
Yes. We're going to need every ally we can against the dragons.
Charlie says, "Of course. While you were gone, I took the liberty of disposing of the bodies of the Tiamat soldiers."
Mm-hmm.
Charlie says, "There were some lizard folk that came wandering through. I scared them off."
Also very good.
Charlie says, "David is still resting, as I said, but if you want to make a move, we can load him into the wagon. We can carry him. Or wake him up."
Oh, he can rest for a little bit longer. It's fine. We have another one resting here anyway. And they're going to be out for another hour or so.
"I see. Well, please come in," as he gestures you into the house he was taking cover in.
Mm-hmm.
You go in.
Once we're done there, he's gonna look for the kobolds, and I'm just gonna do the create food and water for the massive metric ton of food and water for them.
As you wander in, you don't see the kobolds. You do see Kalia is currently curled up and is asleep.
Oh.
I know where this is going. This is too cute.
As you get closer to Kalia, Tygan,
Mm-hmm.
you hear the sound of pitiful little snores coming from within Kalia's armor.
Pitiful.
Everything they do is pitiful.
Not right.
You do notice, by the way, David's wounds are entirely healed.
Does not surprise me.
Charlie is almost at full strength. It looks like his armor is slowly repairing itself from all the acid damage. But yeah, you all just wait until Phaela wakes up. Is that the plan?
Yep.
So, another hour or so goes by as you just wait patiently before you hear movement from Phaela, who's currently laying on a table of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
As she stirs and then wakes up, and you notice as she wakes up, she jumps to her feet.
I just look at him like, "You're fine. If I wanted to kill you, would be dead."
She looks at you in a panic. Says, Why are we in here? What is this? And she looks at this metal arm and sort of moves it, and the fingers sort of move weirdly for a few times before she finally gets a grip on it.
That
What-
weapon you were with was not a good one, and we had to take drastic measures to keep it from hurting you or anyone else again.
Where is it?
Dead.
What do you
Um,
think is in that gauntlet?
It's been repurposed.
She looks at it and just twitches her hand slightly, and suddenly the hand folds away and out protrudes a sword. How long was I out?
A few hours.
You did this in a few
technically-
hours.
Yes. You
takes it-
underestimate my power.
She
I
takes
do
a
hope
few.
the blade survives.
She takes a few test swings. The first few are really clumsy, but you see she gets used to the additional weight in the arm within just a few swings. Something that Scarlet would definitely notice is the sign of someone who definitely has learned to fight their entire life.
Hmm.
You gave me new
I-
armor and a new weapon,
Yes.
Yeah,
and didn't kill me despite me being your enemy.
correct.
I mean,
Why?
you were only an enemy due to circumstances. Circumstances we are going to try to fix.
Fix how?
Well, let me start by, and he'll walk over and point at the blade. So, that dragon that you were with, he's dead, and I might have carved out the magical organ dragons have and used it as an ingredient for the sword. You should be able to not take any harm from acid ever again.
He just stares at the blade as you say that.
I point at the like kind of pulsating magic bit, and I'm like, "That's him. Finally doing something useful." Tyke gives us a little smile.
He nods at you nervously and says, I don't know what to say, but I have to go. My village is in danger.
Well, I mean, I would like to assist with your village. We just need to gather the things around here, and we can continue on. If I may join the.
She says, "What do you want me to do? Because I need to go back to my village. I've failed Nivixal, and he's going to destroy my whole village for this."
Do you think you're going to be
well,
able to take Minivixel by yourself?
No, but I can save the people in my village.
And that's what we want to do as well, so let us help.
Yes.
And
yes,
we want
that's-
to help you, and you're going to let us help you. That's what we want from you.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, you can decide whatever you want. Because guess what? You are no longer what's set on your back.
Which I know some clerics. I will see about getting that fixed as well, if I can.
Also,
And
I'll
I'll
walk
lean in
up.
and say, and the other issue I might have seen.
She simply nods. Says, "So you'll go meet my village, or do you want me to go elsewhere first?"
I thought we would just all head to your village together.
We don't really have time to just leave your village astray. Nivixol will figure out everything that's happening very soon. So
She says, "Traveling on foot to my village will take some time.
mhm.
Do you have
I
a
point
map?"
at the carriage with silver out the window.
She says, "Do you have a map?"
Yes.
One of us does.
As you pull out the map, moving into the map. So, let me know when it's loaded for all of you.
It is loaded, but pixelated.
Give it a second,
Loaded,
it will load.
not pixelated.
GM info. There is reading. Sorry, I'll shift click you. That little icon is where you are. That's the ruins of reading. Thaler points at the map. Up there.
Well,
Yep.
That's
Wow.
my home, Marshfield. And marked on your map is where Nivixal's lair is.
Yep.
we definitely want to go to the keep first.
Thaler says, travel via cart is extremely difficult. The swamp is...
Oh,
Well-
I'm not worried about that. If the cart gets stuck, I can pick up the cart.
Well, the issue is between here and there, and she points at the map again. The war camp we left from is there. Nivixal's brood is lurking in the swamp. There's other creatures in there. Those that follow Nivixal.
Wait. What if we take our time and we're your prisoners? He winks.
He says, it wouldn't matter. My orders were to kill you all.
A question.
Hmm.
How long would it take for you and your fly horse to get to Marshfield from here?
Three, 4 days. At a full speed, resummoning my flying horse. Resummoning my nightmare.
How about we meet you there?
I'm all right with that.
In
Where are you?
4 days?
Where are you heading?
We have a date at Dragonspear Castle. But I also have a way to get to Marshfield now we know where it is.
Dragon Spear.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean you're with them? And as she says that, David walks down the stairs.
Yes.
And she looks at David. You're with them.
I wouldn't say with, I would say anything
An
or any
associate.
ally that can help with dealing with whatever has happened to 3/4 of the world is valuable to me.
He seems to think for a second and says, if I went there alone, they'd hand me over. They have to.
Well, I'm saying we'll meet you there.
You could go near, and we'll meet
Yeah.
you near if you wish to do that, or you could travel with us. We can't exactly move at as fast as we would like.
She thinks about that and says, "But the hag in the war camp might find me. The Vixen might
No.
find me."
I walk up and grab the amulet,
He looks at it.
attuned to it.
He nods and begins to focus on it, and says, "Why is there an eye on it?"
Irony, as Tyken makes a dad joke.
He doesn't laugh.
An amulet
Don't
of
worry.
protection.
Tyken laughs at his own joke enough for everyone.
I slapped my knee.
Taylor says, "I see."
Get it? I see.
She sighs.
she's probably sitting-
Archie was vigorously raised his eyebrows at his own joke that he made it a magical item.
Yeah. Taylor
Right now,
says,
she's probably wishing that we just killed her instead.
"Yeah." She thinks about it for a moment and says, "Well, allies would be helpful. I feel."
Also, David here said if we help deal with the stuff at Dragon Spear, they might be able to help us with your village as well as Nivixol themselves. They just need to get rid of their own problem first. That being said, if we can get rid of the problem at Dragon Spear, as well as some other problems around, the forces from Waterdeep at Drea Blackhelm Tower, as well as the bullywugs in Daggerford Ruins will be able to help as well, which means we have a pretty much four-pronged attack on Nivixol.
Says, "I see. Well, while I would like to meet these allies and make amends, I don't think they'll accept me." At which point David speaks up and says, "There are some in the order who would accept you, as long as you apologize and swear to help. But there are others in the order that will kill you on sight."
Here's the deal. We are with David. David's not dead. We are going to help them, and you're going to help us. And if you're willing to help them and atone for what you've done, maybe some people will change their ways. Others will be hell bent in their own thoughts, but the thing is, if you do something beneficial to them, they cannot look by it. And the thing is, in war, you don't have to be friends with everyone. You just need to work towards a common cause.
Not to mention, I'll also be talking to them, so that'll help a lot.
He nods and says, "But can I atone for what I've done here?" And looks out the window at the desolation.
I walk up to her with a serious look on my face of a teacher / professor.
Yep.
And I say, that's for you to decide. Do you believe you can do that? Because if you do, I know there's a lot of gods and a lot of beings out there that could use and also be benefited from someone as strong as you. And guess what? This time you won't be forced into position. You can make your own decisions.
He nods.
Tyken would
This-
just make a little comment of, I would suggest talking to Lathander.
He nods at that. At this point, Charlie steps forward and says, "Given what I've seen here, I'm not sure atonement is possible.
Anyone
just
can
sort of
atone.
nods to the side.
Charlie
I'm
continues and says, "Oh, you can try," and he puts a hand on her shoulder. I too am attempting to atone for what I have done, and I believe anyone can try. And then Charlie looks at you, Taikan, with a look of knowing.
Tyken nods.
This is actually huge character development for Charlie because Charlie can
Yeah.
actually see it from the outside looking in
Yeah.
now.
Mm.
Of like someone who has done something horrible that was in the same position as Charlie,
Yep.
also in the same mental dilemma.
Yep.
Which is
More than
massive.
mental.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
hey, she's just like me for real, for real.
Mm.
For real, for real.
Phaela listens to all of this input and says, "Then I will try. I will travel through the swamp and try to gather what allies I can and try to sway them to our cause." We will
Just be
gather.
careful.
We will gather near Marshall. We will be careful. I grew up in those swamps. I know what they are. I know how to hide in them. But you should know that if any attack was to happen on Navixal will call his armies together.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And this is why we
Sounds
need
to me
outside
like we
help
should-
to, distract those armies.
She says, "I was Navixal's champion up until, well," and she gestures at Taikan. But-
Tyken just says, "You're welcome."
And guess what? Now you're your own champion. Actually,
she says, "I was privy to Navixal's plans.
Tyken
I would
gives a big
advise-
smile.
I would advise moving sooner rather than later." Gesturing at the map again, up here, she says, "Navixal and Ashtathindar and Arzenag, the Green Dragon, do not get along. Navixal's been sorry,
under the oppressive thumb of Ashasindar, Navixal, and Arzenag are not happy.
Navixal used to talk about ascending to a greater level of power if he was able to kill his rivals of Ashtathindar and Arzenag. The last champion before me, but the last of Navixal's champions, failed in a scouting mission on Ashtathindar's lair.
Well, Ashasindar is a very powerful being.
Hmm.
He's already tried to do some very aggressive things towards our party.
And
Which, luckily enough, we held back. But we don't know what he's going to do next. So,
she says,
yeah.
She says, basically what I'm trying to say is Navixal, Ashtathindar, and Arzenag are all at war with each other. As of about 2 weeks ago, Navixal was gathering a large force to move on Ashtathindar's forces. If we move quickly, they may not return in time.
Do you really think Navixal will actually do anything to your village when he's so worried about Ashthinder?
He will when he gets around to it.
Which
He's always-
means we need to hurry up and wait.
Yeah, so hurry up and gather them, and gestures at David.
I think we have enough more time than we think. If Nivixal's gaze is upon Ashathinda as well as Arzenag, if we let them fight for a bit, that means his forces will be weakened. Arzenag is a lot, even for them both, I believe Arzenag is going to be more than a hassle.
'Cause, yes, we've had spies in Marshfield a few times of from Arzenag, attempting to gather information and things. It's an ongoing conflict. It's been going on since before I was born. Going back and forth, spies, assassins, scout.
Well, how about this then? Let's help David. Let's get this menace out of the keep so they have their own freedom, and then we will revise on what's going on and maybe have a look at what Nivixal's army is doing.
Sounds good. Then I'll get my nightmare together and I will scout. Find out
Mhm.
what's going on. Get you the information on the inside of the swamp.
Matt,
Yes.
can I retcon something?
Yes.
I would have grabbed a pair of sending stones from our sanctuary. If there was any there.
There is, but I will say this: there's no need. Phaela can
Okay.
cast sending.
Well, I'll just tell her to send me a sending.
She
Well,
says,
yeah, I already know that because she sent me a sending before. Never
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
Oh, so just
Yeah.
just message me what you know, and we'll keep in touch.
Yes. I will. She says, "Thank you for this new weapon." The weapon comes out again.
I have one
If I
condition,
can- Go ahead.
What's that?
and I'm sure Tyken can think the same. I want you to use this new blade for what you believe is correct.
She says,
Whatever path that may lead to, I will accept.
She says, "For now, my goal is clear.
Yes,
The Vixel needs to pay."
I agree with this for now.
I accept
But
this
I'm more curious and want to know about what you can become after this bout of vengeance.
She nods. She says, "I did swear my oaths to Tiamat."
That doesn't mean you can't change.
Yes.
You're your own woman now.
She says,
And what has these oaths given you?
"I think the better question is, what have they taken?"
That is also true. And guess what? They can still take a lot more.
But no more.
Exactly.
She turns and starts to walk towards the door.
Determination. Walks through door, end scene, wide tan, grey scale.
She gets to the door and says, "I'll be in touch."
Walks into the screen door.
Walks through the door, doesn't even open it.
She says, "I'll be in touch." And with that, she walks out with determination.
I'll look at Tyken.
Tyken does catch up to her and says, "Wait, one last thing."
She nods.
He'll give her a hug and say, "You seem like you could use this."
He doesn't even know how to respond to a hug.
Get her!
Affection in my D&D.
Yep.
Says, "Now, you be safe, and we'll meet again very soon."
He simply nods.
Fucking Tyke is just like
Yeah.
the biggest dad.
Yeah.
He's just such a big.
Dad
He's just a
energy.
dad. Everybody sees, he just wants to give a hug and be like, "You do good now. Go to school. Make sure you be good."
Tyken, as she pulls away, you do get. Can you make me an insight check?
Let's go. I hope I can succeed. Tygan. As I can't seem to remember to not close these things. Inside.
I always close my damn freaking character sheet.
Tyken. She doesn't. You get a sense she's struggling with just the fact that you helped her, and doesn't. It's gonna need time to contemplate what's happened.
He
It's
knows,
probably
but
yeah. Yeah,
it's
probably more kindness than she's ever had in her life.
She's
believe that.
she's about to break.
You do see there is like a wall that she's put up of this
Is the
stoic.
wall is
It-
the
it-
wall at the shadow though? That's the real question.
Yeah, it's this stoic wall of no feeling. Doing what
well,
needs
I
to be
happen to have an adamantine blade that auto crits against objects.
done. Yeah.
I do have an animating blade that crits against emotions. Dad energy. Take my adamantine coated hug.
She also says good luck.
She nods at you. Thank you. With that, she turns and puts her hands on the ground, begins muttering an incantation. A few minutes later, that nightmare appears. That acid dripping flying horse. She jumps on, and the horse kicks off with its back legs and just soars off into the sky and just jets away at 180 feet per round.
On the subject of
I
nightmare.
look at her with my hands behind my back, and then look at Tarkin. Then I,
I think
sort of
she'll
like,
be fine.
I think she's going to be a valuable asset.
I think she'll be a very valuable individual now.
I'm curious to see what choice she makes
As am I.
and where it will lead.
We can definitely be keeping an eye on that one.
Um,
Now onward to Dragon's Bay Castle.
that's me and Tykin crack
Onward.
open a beer and lay on the fence.
I want to be part of Chicago.
Cool. With that, you're all up. You all gather on the wagon, pulling
Yeah.
it out of the hidey hole in the ruined village. Loading up on the wagon. You begin to roll at about midday-ish. You leave the ruins of Reading Village behind. Yes.
Yep.
Yes,
Cool.
sir.
Riding along. Still on the map. Right here.
Yep.
You leave Reading behind.
I will stay illiterate.
You begin to make your way. As sundown hits, you are about here. As you travel this way, with every mile that you go, the air gets a bit drier and a tiny bit warmer. It's very subtle, but as you travel, David does tell you the area south of Dragon Spear is basically desert.
Damn.
And every mile you travel, it gets worse. It gets slightly warmer. David does produce from the bottom of the wagon several very light cloaks, not meant to be warm, but meant to shield you from the sun.
I can hold up a hand. No need. I've been training.
Oh, okay. Some of the order does that too.
I might go for some pointers when we meet.
Um,
And I'm going to
Uh,
use this opportunity to continue training my tough feet.
Yep. It's not hot enough yet, but you do get a sense the further south you get, the more opportunity there will be. And David does explain very quickly out of game terms that south of Dragonsphere there's desert. Members of the Order do go south and basically do a Taikan wandering about in the desert for training. But that's south of Dragonsphere. Where it does get quite inhospitable. As the day goes by, you go past another ruined village, which has just been it's long since destroyed. You rest for the night there. As it gets dark, I presume.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Without much issue. The road has completely fallen away at this point. It's barely anything left of the road, just a path. But resting through the night without issue, you load up the next day and continue to travel.
I will.
Again, it's slightly drier the further south you get, and about halfway through the next day, you get to about here, where you come across the ruins of what look to be an inn. That look to have been attacked, presumably by some sort of. At a glance, as you approach this inn, it looks like it wasn't black dragons, but you can see what's left of lizard folk spears and other things. But long ago. Like several years.
Also,
the road sort of goes past this inn within like maybe a few 100 feet. And it is very clearly destroyed. But as you go past, you all hear the sound of some sort of singing coming from inside.
I will know.
I will investigate.
And I need to ask, the kobolds are with you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they are sticking their heads out of Kalaya's armor from time to time.
If they're gonna stick with us, my plan is to actually get all three of them, like a little hand crossbow, and just have them poke out a Kalaya and just be like, sink! Like.
They currently have weapons. They have little shivs made out of broken wood, and they all have. Each of them have a sling with a handful of rocks.
Well, a sling is good for now.
Don't underestimate a kobold wielding a rock. I had a character die to that.
Yep. But they have the choice to follow God, and they're following God in this case. It's
yes, pseudo god.
Yeah.
Well. The thing is, for these kobolds, anything stronger than them is a god.
They've got a lot of gods.
They do.
The whole world is their god.
Yeah. As you hear this singing in Taikan, do you want to get off and investigate? Is that what you said?
I will.
You sort of, the wagon comes to a stop and you hop off the wagon. Who else is investigating?
Man, I will just follow Tyken very slowly. I don't want to.
Okay. Just so I know, we have the wrong token for Charlie's on this screen. There we go. Fix that up. We have Tyken going in. Do we have Thunray going in? Is Scarlet going in?
Probably not. What is it again?
Probably not. It's a ruined like roadside inn that has clearly been destroyed some time ago, and you can hear the sound of singing coming from inside.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay, is Archie going in?
To investigate?
Yeah.
Sure.
David's going to remain with the cart, as will Charlie. And Kalaya coming in.
No.
Just so I know who's coming in. So you three are coming in. As the three of you approach, the singing, you can hear it. It sounds like someone humming to themselves and singing a upbeat little tune. It sounds like a female voice.
I have a bad feeling.
Taiken, you get to the door first.
Yes, sir.
The door has been knocked off the hinges and clearly looks like it was cut down by a weapon. Inside, you can see the dimly lit tavern, like the dimly lit inn. There's a main bar like a main seating section. There's a bar. There is a hallway going off to what you believe to be rooms. This is a roadside place people would stop at some point. There's a layer of sand on everything, as there's more sandiness as you are getting further south. At a glance, Taikan, there are about a dozen skeletons sitting in the bar. Like sitting in the general seating area.
Graveyard shift, am I
I'm
right, guys?
gonna...
They
I'm
at a
gonna
glance.
divine sense.
Cool. As you divine sense, that's a 30-foot range or 60?
I was expecting the
it's
skeletons
60.
to turn and look at me as I made the joke.
I'm gonna look it up quickly. It's 60 feet. Cool. Again, the skeletons are dead. They are not undead. They're skeletons.
Oh,
But-
phew.
At a glance, they have been withered to death.
Oh.
All of you see this. Taikan, you get one ping on your divine sense.
Oh.
As you step in through the doorway, you see a woman before you. Her form partially transparent, which you detect as being undead. She's wearing
Oh.
a barmaid outfit, again partially transparent, and she walks on the ground. Although there's sort of a bit of a drift as she sort of steps and then drifts, as you sense her as being undead, and she smiles at you and says, "Oh, welcome. Oh, it's been so long since we've had travelers come in. Please take a seat. Please take a seat."
Tacket? Evil? Nah, yeah, nah.
Tyken will go in and take a seat. He's pretty sure he knows what's going on, and he's going to help.
I guess I'll take a seat.
Now, whether or not he's wrong, I apologize in advance.
Okay.
Is Archie taking a seat?
I need to talk about something. Out of game.
Yep, sure.
This is going to be a lot of RP stuff, right?
A little bit, yes.
Because unbeknownst to me, America had daylight savings today,
Oh.
which means my other D&D starts an hour earlier.
Oh no.
Which means it's 12:30, which is starting now, unbeknownst to me, because I had no prior knowledge of this at all.
Oh, okay.
So I am fine with you guys continuing on without me.
Archie will remain in the cart.
Yeah, because I need to go in like 5 minutes.
Yep.
As
okay.
I've literally just been told. So,
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
No.
Don't worry,
Um,
I didn't remember either.
But I was wondering why Sol was in call so early. I was like, what? Why is Sol here?
Yeah,
Where
I,
was he?
Yeah.
I was wondering why you guys were so late.
But I will state this: I don't
I
know
was
if people
eating.
want to start a bit like because we have our daylight savings in April, like 2 weeks from now, which
Yep.
should realign things. I think possibly because we go back an hour, right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
But for the next 2 weeks, I don't know if we want to start earlier or just have shorter sessions. Like we can talk about that later.
No, we'll figure that out. I think
Yeah.
I'm happy to start a little bit early, but I don't know about
Yeah.
Josh is the main one.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to start earlier, just have sort of shorter sessions until we have daylight savings in a couple of weeks. It's just the fact that it's going to be at 12:30 from now on, probably
Yep.
until we have our time back, right?
Yep. Yep.
So
I
I don't know. I'll figure it out. So
I believe that you.
I'm annoyed. That's what I am. So,
Yeah.
I'm
uh,
honestly fine with whatever. Just putting it out there.
all right. Well, I have to head off, and sorry for the inconvenience.
It's
Go
okay.
No
ahead.
problem.
Okay,
You're
I'll let you know what
good.
happens.
Radio.
Thanks for playing.
Alright,
See you,
peace out.
bye.
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 Bye. Thank you for playing.
Archie's gonna wonder what took so long. Go to try and find what happened when everyone left the cart, and he's gonna find everyone's dead except him.
Yep.
It's just like
Um,
fucking skeletons just wait.
Yeah.
Oh, in that
This
case,
skeleton's awfully tall.
So in
Remember,
that
I
case,
also
Scott-
didn't walk in there. You two are the only
Yeah.
ones in there.
yep,
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
So Tycan and Fenrir, you sit down at a table with this ghostly woman who's definitely Tycan, definitely undead.
Mm-hmm.
As
But is
you
she evil?
as you sit down, she says, "Well, you must have travelled a long way to get here. What can I get you?" And she's sort of this jovial, smiling human woman.
Can I insight check this?
Yeah, roll insight.
Time to fact check
Oh,
a ghost.
shit.
He
I want to
is-
insight too.
She is happy. Your tip for Thunraya, your typical happy to see people barmaid. Welcoming travelers in after a long day on the road. Tycan. Same deal, except for one major thing. You
Uh-oh.
definitely get a sense that doesn't know she's a ghost or undead.
See, that's what he assumed was going on.
He says,
I
"What can I
will-
what can I get you? Some drinks, have some
do you
meal."
Do you have a house special?
She says, we do. We have and she mentions some sort of meal which you presume is probably gathered from the swamps.
I'll have whatever you'll serve me.
I will
course.
have whiskey.
Of course, coming right up. And she turns and walks / floats into the back room. You hear the sound of clattering pans and things going on in the back. Do you discuss anything as you sit there waiting for food to be made?
He leans over and he says, "She doesn't realize she's dead."
That explains a lot.
That's what I was afraid of.
But surely she can see the skeletons, right?
I mean, for all she knows, it could just be the owner doing really weird decor.
True.
A few moments pass before she emerges once more and says, "I'm so sorry about the wait. Just there's so many patrons." As she just gestures at the people at the skeletons sitting at the seats.
They come here often.
Not often, no. Travel passerbys. No one stays here too long. People usually coming or going to places. I mean, Baldur's Gate is very busy this time of year.
Yep,
So I've
very
heard.
Mhm. Red flag.
Those Tykin just has a face like, "Oh no."
There's still this warm smile on her face. She's probably in her mid-40s, but very happy with what she's doing, it seems, or was doing, and puts a plate, Thanraya, of what is very clearly badly rotten food that definitely is very, very old. And
Lovely.
Tycan, she puts a bottle and a glass in front of you.
I'm gonna pop the top off the bottle and give it a sniff.
Firstly, the bottle is the bottle's glass, so it's fine, but the label has rotted away.
I couldn't help it.
Would I be able to trouble you for also a bottle of that?
She says, "Of course," and she turns and floats away. And she gets about halfway to the bar before she turns and looks at one of the skeletons and says, "Sir, I'll be with you in a moment." And then she turns and floats away.
As she's floating away, I will put the food in the bag of holding.
Okay, you slide it away. Lycan, you having a drink?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to smell first.
This alcohol has been fermenting for what you believe to be decades.
Ah, good strong stuff. I'm gonna pour myself a shot.
Okay.
I mean, hey, at least it's good stuff.
So, Taiken, are we just gonna leave her the way she is, or
I'm just trying to figure out exactly the best way to handle this. This
because
is something new to me.
she doesn't seem bad, and she doesn't seem unhappy. So I'm unsure what the go here is.
I think the best thing to do would probably be to just tell her everything straight and try to let her see what happened and then help her cross over.
I am going to leave that up to you.
A moment passes, and she enters once more with another bottle.
Thank you very much, miss.
She says, "So yeah."
May I get your name?
She says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm such a bad hostess." And she sort of smiles. "My name is Tamira."
What a lovely name.
"And yours?"
Thanraya.
"And yours?" "Pleasure."
And
And she actually,
Titan.
she nods. "Taiken." "What a strong name," she smiles.
Thank you.
May I ask where you're traveling to?"
Funny enough, Baldur's Gate.
She says, "Oh, it is lovely there, isn't it?"
So I've heard.
She,
Um,
see it.
is there something you should probably be made aware of?
"Oh, what's that? Did something happen there?"
Not there. It seems something has happened here. I don't know how to tell you this, so I'm just going to come out and tell you. You are unfortunately deceased. You are a ghost.
Oh, don't be silly.
I'm going to attempt to put my hand through her arm.
Okay, your hand passes through her arm.
I say, as you can see.
No, that isn't true.
It says,
No.
if you look around, the other patrons in here are also deceased. They are skeletons.
She looks about, and you see her head begin to twitch. No,
says,
no,
"But
that can't be true. No, they're
I
all
can
they're all
assist you.
patrons.
I can help you."
No, it's all a lie. It's not true. It's not. And then she lets out a wail.
Banshee whale?
I need Hycan and Thanraya to both make me wisdom saves, please. And at the same time, Scarlet, out in the wagon, you hear a wail as well, but you aren't affected by it.
Uh-oh.
26.
Good luck,
And
guys.
Tyking gets a 13. You both succeed on the save. It's a low DC.
Oh,
Thank God.
Fucking Banshee, I'm betting.
As she wails, and suddenly her kind demeanor is gone, and in its place is this nasty, evil-looking undead. Still with her visage, but evil.
Tamira, I'll be like, Tamira, calm down.
You'll be okay. I can help you.
Roll initiative.
We can talk about this.
I'm rolling too.
For the purpose of this, Archie is buried in his book.
Let's go. That's
He
what we
is
to the
expect from
outside
Tyken.
world. Yeah,
Fat zero.
I can bet you all those skeletons were her doing.
Mm-hmm.
So Tamira's turn was the whale. Scarlet, you hear a whale. A
How
banshee
far-
type whale.
How far away am I?
You're about 60 feet away.
Uh-huh. Hmm. So I move 30 feet. How
Yep.
close?
David and Charlie say, we'll stay with the wagon and make sure the horse is safe.
She gives a thumbs up.
You-
How close do I get? Do I see her?
30 feet gets you to within 30 feet of the bar. You can see her about 10 feet into the bar, so you're 40 feet away, but you can see this ghostly woman screaming inside the bar right in front of Tyken and Thanraya. You are 40 feet away and you can see her.
Do I see them like acting up something or?
They're still sitting, but she's just wailed in front of them. But you can see the banshee. You can see the ghost, I should say.
Yeah. Do I know if it's like hostile?
Based on the wail, yes.
Okay. That's what I needed to know.
Yep.
Yeah. We're just gonna spend a use of these.
Okay. As you guys see the banshee wail, suddenly a bunch of magical force blasters shoot in through the door and slam into her form.
Are you two okay?
Yes.
Perfect.
Tyken just looks sad.
As she is just wailing and she looks at you angrily, Scarlet. Is that your turn?
Yep.
Cool. Fenrir, what do you do?
I grab my sword and then I will use my bonus action to cast Spirit Shroud.
Mm.
So that's 2d8. Now, 3. Oh, here's another question I wanted to ask just quickly.
Yep.
Because I get +2 to my damage, is that +2 per dice on the extra damage?
What do you mean +2? That's
Because
from
my
you, or-
because my weapon gives me +2 damage on my damage rolls, but because I'm doing lightning and radiant, is it +2 for both, or is it just +2 in general?
It's part of the magic slashing.
Okay, so
That's already included there.
okay, so yeah, but because it's lightning / radiant, 3 of that 6 is radiant, and the other 13, this 13 down here is
Hold
radiant.
on. Let me have a look at your sheet, because I think you're getting confused by the thing.
No, because I do my weapon does 1d6 lightning damage base, and now it's awakened. It does an extra 1d6 or 1d6 lightning or radiant. So I was trying to separate it, but it doesn't. I
Oh,
don't
so
have a second damage tab.
Oh, so it's not separated. So I'll
Yeah.
change it here. So it's not 1d6 plus 1d6. It's just 2d6. Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Yeah. It's 1d6 lightning or radiant, and I'll put it in the bottom here. Right. And the +2. Why is the +2 there in the lightning / radiant damage?
Because the weapon says that my damage rolls gets a +2 damage.
Yep. So that's on the physical.
Okay. That's fair.
It's like a +2 weapon. That's how they work generally. So what I've done is I've edited it. So boop.
Okay. Sure.
So you see that first line of text there is the extra dice there. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. Okay, I get you. So, but at the moment, because it's equal on the first attack.
Yep.
That is 16 magic.
Yep.
And then 16 radiant.
Okie dokie. Her form becomes partially transparent as she continues to wail, as she is not bloody
then-
because she can't do that, but yeah.
And then my second attack. Okay, yeah. So that's one extra 1 radiant. Hold on. I should need to quickly reread this. Okay, and then I will do.
Okay.
That's radiant.
As you bring your blade up a second time, it goes through her form. One more final wail before her form disappears. Turned into smoke. And you're out of combat.
Tyken's going to immediately start doing paladin cleric things to try and help make sure that she goes to the other side.
Make me, Tyken, roll me are you proficient in religion?
I hope so.
Imagine not
Yes.
proficient in
Cool.
religion.
I'll get you to make me a. I want to make him roll a religion check, but use your wisdom modifier. So roll me any ability you're proficient in with wisdom. That'll get you the right roll.
Wouldn't it
Funny
just
enough, I'm
be
not
wisdom
proficient in
plus
anything
4?
with wisdom.
Oh, okay. Then.
Oh wait,
You-
no
are you-
wait. Actually, yeah, I am. It's the same modifier because they're both 0.
Okay, just make me a wisdom roll then.
Oh no, it's a +4 because I'm proficient in religion.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so
cool.
wisdom plus 4.
Oh yeah.
That's a good
As
roll.
Scarlet, you watch as the ghost disappears. Do you run in?
Nope.
Did it stand outside?
Yup.
Oh, that's right. I have a priest pack thingy on
You do.
Tyken.
Tygan, you notice there's no remains of the ghost. Nothing to work on. What mist that does dissipate, you notice floats into the floor.
Question.
Hmm.
Is that humanoid?
Technically, no.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Like floats
Tyken
into
still
the
wants to
floorboards.
try.
Yep. Yeah, floats into the floorboards. What do you do?
Can I follow it?
Destroy
Cool.
the floorboards. Mr. Adamantine Greatsword.
Do
Exactly.
you try to go through the floorboards, or do you? Okay. As you stick your sword into the floorboards and take
Yeah,
a
I'm
few
just gonna try
moments
and
to
pry
do
it
this.
up. Just to see.
Sticking your sword in the floorboards and prying up a few.
Yep.
You can see that there is some sort of an insulation in the floorboards.
Mm-hmm.
There is definitely a basement.
All right. We'll go look for the basement then.
Cool. As you begin to search through the basement, where do you look? There's the corridor going off to the presumably bedrooms, like in rooms, and there's a doorway that goes out behind the bar to a kitchen.
I'm gonna try the kitchen because I feel like that would keep stuff in the basement or would keep it better because cooler temperatures and bring it up to the kitchen.
Yep. As you, Thaddeus going as well.
Yep.
As you make your way in, and it's only been about 30 seconds since you've put away that ghost.
Uh-huh.
There is suddenly another flood of this smoky type thing coming from the floorboards. Before reappearing before you is Tamira.
Ah.
And she smiles at you and says, "Oh, hello there. I'm sorry I didn't see you come in.
Oh, hello. I just need...
Please take a seat. This area is for employees only."
He nudges Thanraya. Nudges Thanraya again.
Yep. Thanraya, you were nudged.
Do the thing.
Swing.
Okay.
No, no, not that. You're supposed to tell her you are an employee. Tyke can't lie.
Oh, do you not remember me, Tamira? I literally started working here yesterday.
Roll me a deception check.
Took it the wrong way almost immediately.
No, come on.
I mean, I was the one that nudged. Can I offer advantage?
I'll allow it. That's fine.
Okay, let's go.
She says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, we have so many who will come through here. Well, please, table 2 is waiting for their meal. If you wouldn't mind." And she gestures at a at one of the cooking benches that are covered in rotten, very badly rotten meat.
I'll be right on it, boss.
I'm just gonna kind of walk forward.
Yep. She says, "And you're working here too, I presume then?"
I just look at her and say, "I need to go to the basement."
He's also a new hire. I'm just showing him the ins and outs.
He says, "Oh, of course, of course. Well, table 7 is looking for Baldur's Gate special wine. It's down in the cellar, if you wouldn't mind."
I can just is like, "That's what I'm good for, muscle," and he's just gonna.
And then yeah.
You're doing great as a waitress, Thanraya.
I just picture Scarlet sitting there. "Let me speak with your manager."
Tamira says, "You do with you make the food. I will talk to them and try to buy some time, okay?" And
Okay.
and she floats out, and you hear her talking to the skeletons. Scarlet, standing outside, 30 feet outside, you see her. You see this ghostly barmaid walking about, floating about, talking to the skeletons.
Yeah, the person I just shot at not too long ago.
Don't worry about it.
I'm not worrying about it. That's why you're down in the cellar. I'm not out here.
Scarlet, she floats about and then notices you outside. And sort of goes to the door and waves and says, "Come on in, dear. I do have seats."
No, I'm just waiting for my friends to get off work.
"Oh, of course, of course. Well, if you need anything, please let me know." And she smiles.
She smiles back.
And Tamira goes back to doing her thing. Tykan, in the meantime, so firstly, Thanraya, are you trying to make food? Thanraya? Zenrai making food?
Yes, I'm making food.
Okay.
Oh, what
It's
good
As
all-
the ghost comes in and says, "It's fucking raw."
It's raw. It's so black. It's not my bike.
As you are attempting to make food from the rotten meat that is here.
Yeah, I'll just
attempt.
I don't know, I'll just grab a spatula or whatever and just put stuff what I think
Yep.
would be.
You begin to put together a meal of some form.
She comes in. Why are you flipping the cheese wheel?
Tycan, you make your way down the
Mhm.
stairs.
Yes, sir.
As you get down the stairs,
Mm-hmm.
you see a wine cellar.
Gasp.
Yep.
Several of the large casks that are here have
Mhm.
been shifted, and there is very visibly they are not against the wall like they should be. They have been shifted to the side. And there is the vague smell of something long rotten away down here behind those casks.
I'm gonna have me a gander.
Looking behind the casks, you see what's left of what is very clearly the robes that Tamira is wearing upstairs on a very real body. Long since decayed. She's basically skeletal down there. In the center of a large, what is very clearly necromancy type ritual.
Oh, that pisses Tyken off.
There is writing on the wall in long dried blood, glory to Tiamat. The body is in a sort of a circular pentagram type idea. Definitely an undead, horrible ritual. I'll get based on your religion roll, Tyken.
Mhm.
This is something done to keep her in a perpetual state of undeath, recycling her again and again to bring harm to others without ever knowing it.
First things first. He's gonna clean up all this necromancy crap.
Yep.
Then he's going to perform a proper burial ceremony.
Okay, using the ceremony spell, I presume.
It's a ritual spell. I don't need to have it prepared, right?
I'm going to say no, not for this.
Okay.
It takes an hour to do, and
Mm-hmm.
so I'm happy to
Doesn't
say
it
it's
have,
thing.
component costs?
It does have 25 gold piece worth of powdered silver, which the spell consumes. Do you have that?
I'm sure we have 25 silver pieces that I can crush into powder.
I'm sure you do. Like, it's fine.
Our treasure? I'd be surprised if we didn't.
As this goes on, as you begin this ritual, Tycan, you've never done this personally, but you know how to do it. This is part of what Helm teaches. In particular, the funeral rite, I'll say, is the one that would probably be the one you want to use.
Yeah, that's definitely one.
In the meantime, as you're busily
It is a
working,
ritual spell. Let's go. I only need to do an extra 10 minutes.
yeah. In the meantime, Thanrea, Tamira floats back into the kitchen. Is the meal done? The table's waiting.
Yes, it is.
Oh, excellent. And she takes the plate and floats outside.
You said all table 7 was also waiting?
They're waiting on drinks, yes. Don't know where the other one
Okay.
is.
Just in case he got lost, I'll go find him. You know these new hires, am I right?
Oh, absolutely. Well, please, please be quick. We have an order up on table 2.
I'll be as quick as I can, and I'll fucking run.
You go down there. You go down the basement, and Thanrea, you see Tycan with the body in the middle of performing a ritual.
He doesn't stop the ritual. He just points at all the necromancy crap around him, and then does a thumbs down.
They shit bad.
What do you do then, Rhea?
Fuck. I grabbed the booze that was meant to be grabbed by Tyken.
Yep, you find it. Easy enough to do. It's all pretty foul down here.
Poor girl.
And I run back up and I'll go out and I say, sorry about that, boss. He was struggling to find the booze, so I told him to take inventory, to write down inventory instead. So I'll be covering what he has to do as well.
He says, "Oh, of course, yes."
And you said table 2 is waiting on an order?
They are, yes. And for the next hour, you are given orders and being made to go up and down the stairs. Tamira is doing. She would have been a really good barmaid in life.
She probably was a good barmaid in life.
Yeah. She does make mention at some point through this hour, Thanraya, of how it's good that we have someone doing inventory, because there are some health inspectors coming from Baldur's Gate in the next few weeks. That
Those damn health inspectors. They're
Yeah,
always trying to find faults.
Man,
yeah.
if they were alive, this place would be shut down.
As you keep her busy, Thanraya.
Yes.
Keep her busy. There are a few times that she says, "I should go down and help him check out, help him with some things down there."
He'll never learn if you baby him. Calm down.
Good point. I'll keep them all entertained out there. And you see her go out there and move up to what looks to be a old stage and begin singing to her quote unquote guests.
At least she's having fun.
Tyken,
Yep.
you hear singing.
Oh man, that's gonna mess with Tyken. Nah, he's got to stiff upper lift this.
Yep. As you hear her singing, she's genuinely unaware of the situation. The hour goes by. Tyken, you finish the ritual. As you finish the ritual, the silver dissipates. The body is still there, but the silver dissipates. You get the sense that it's done. What do you do, Tyken?
I'm going to collect her remains. I'm going to take them topside. I'm going to bury them. I'm going to find a nice stone. I have an adamantine blade that's enchanted. I'm going to carve her name into a stone as a headstone.
Cool. As you make your way, firstly, as you make your way up the stairs, holding what's left of Tamira, Thanraya, you're moving back and forth, following Tamira's duties as she's there singing for the patrons. Before suddenly, Thanraya, there's a raven sitting on the window. Scarlet, standing outside, you see a raven appear, which is odd because with your alert training, Scarlet, it definitely didn't fly in. Just one moment it wasn't there, the next it was.
I'm gonna bet that's a normal bird, and we're getting rid of an illusion.
As you see this raven there, Scarlet, it looks at you, Scarlet, standing outside. It nods at you. Before it and then it looks at you, Thanraya, as you're in there, and nods at you. It's at this point that Tyken, you step up That's what Tyken is. When Tyken, you're stepping up as the ritual has finished. What lingering
Mhm.
effects are now coming to an end? You step in, Tyken. You step into the bar itself, and you see Tamira happily singing. And Tyken, you also see this raven.
Ah, yep. Okay, fair. Yep. Raven, get it.
As you, all of you see
Tyken would
this,
know what this raven is, wouldn't he?
and as you see this raven, it nods at you all before its wings flap and it moves towards Tamira, who's still singing, blissfully unaware.
I would do a curtsy to the raven when it nods.
The wings unfold, and suddenly before you is an entirely black, a woman wearing black armor, coated in raven's feathers, with a white porcelain mask on its face. Tykan and Thanrea, you both know what this is. This is the Raven Queen, the goddess of undeath. Sorry, the goddess of death, not undeath.
Close enough.
Tyken will like bow to her and say, "My lady."
She doesn't
pay
say-
respects.
She doesn't say anything to you. She just nods at you before looking at Tamira and says, "Come, it's time." And Tamira says, you see Tamira, the ghost of Tamira sort of smile and a little tear. Yes, it is. Before the Raven Queen takes her hand, and in a flash, they are gone, and all that's left is a single black feather.
Tyken's going to take that black feather.
Shame. She could really sing that one.
What she had to go through is horrible. My only hope is that some of the necromancers, at least one of them, manage to achieve undeath so I can kill them personally.
Well, it's not unlikely.
I'm just glad she's at rest now.
I presume Scarlet's walked in at this point.
Oh yeah, there's no reason not to now.
And he'll ask the others to help him bury her.
You
And
find
he's going to put this
Yep.
black feather in the little kit that he does for the burial ceremonies because he feels like that's actually a really nice thing that he can have.
Yeah,
help.
absolutely. It is a non-magical feather, but it's a useful symbol.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
it's
back.
symbolism.
Dinner's ready.
Yep. We're about to wrap up actually, so do you want to hang out for a second, Sol?
Okay.
I think he took off. Oh.
As you, Tykan, a little grave is made for Tamira,
Mhm.
and you do a little ritual for her.
Yep. Just mostly just doing the headstone stuff and things like that. And after he's done, he's gonna go back to that bottle of whiskey. He's not even gonna pour it in the glass. He's just gonna start chugging.
Yep. As Tykan, you get pretty drunk.
Ah. And he's gonna go, "Hey, Andrea, there's a lot more downstairs. I think we could put in the bag of holding. No, bag of colding, cold beers. Mm-hmm.
I'll help.
All right, I'm on it, big guy.
It's easy enough to do. There's plenty of empty bottles you can pour from the kegs. It's extremely alcoholic and probably very flammable.
Now instead of
Probably
some
very
booze,
expensive.
instead of some booze, I will say a lot of booze.
Yep, you have a lot of booze. With that, however, you gather the things. Tykan, drunk, returns to the cart, I presume.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let's go. It's time to get a DUI because he's still gonna be driving.
Nah, you ain't
What do you
driving.
mean? That's our designated driver.
Silver. Away!
Bilbo looks at you with a disappointing look on the horse's face before setting off.
Wow, I've never seen a horse emote so vividly.
Would
He
you
just-
like
he's
me
just
to
like, "No,
drive
give me that
Silver? I'll take
look."
over for him.
I know that. I've seen that look. He just passes you the reins. He says, "I'm just gonna," and he like clumsily crawls over the seat and just kind of lands in the back.
Yep.
So he takes the reins.
As you take the reins, and with that you roll on from the ruined inn.
Oh, I'm gonna lay on hands tomorrow to get rid of this hangover.
And as you leave the inn behind, you're in the final stretch towards Dragon Spear with a drunk Tycan. And yeah, that's what we'll call it there. So thank you for play, all.
Thank you for DM. That was a good one.
Thank you for DM.
Yay. Hey,
Lycanthropes, right there, I can taste it.
Yeah, right there.
Well, it can taste you. Huh?
Ah.
Ah.
Did you like
Somebody's gonna be.
Did you like what I did at the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
I underlined ruins.
I wondered where that red light, if that red light was there the whole time.
You know what, Sol?
What?
You know what I'm doing with it?
What?
It's on the map player now.
Hey!
It's permanent.
Gotta be known. This is ruins.
Yep.
Baldur's Gate is
I will-
not existing.
There is actually in the GM layer that I will put down there just so I'll make it visible for you as well.
2 days. Gotcha.
Ruins of Baldur's Gate.
Ruins O'Dur's Gate.
Ruins of Baldur's Gate.
Hope you all had fun. Thank you for play.
Thank you for DM.
Hey.
I've got stuff I've got to do around the house, so I do got to get on daddle now. So
And I
you'll
got
have a good one.
Sinner And
Yay.
other things potentially to do, so.
Same. Alright,
Yep.
thank you for everything.
Thank you for play.
Alright,
Thank you.
hopefully talk to you guys next week.
Yeah. How early? I need to ask. How early is too early for you, Josh? Because you're the one that's. early.
Honestly, the only I didn't realize I was late. For some reason, I thought it was 9:30, but I'm guessing that it was 9 o'clock. But if we want to start an hour earlier, so if it would be 8 my time, 8:30 your time, correct?
About that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
As long as you have a heads up, and you have heads up. So.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. I will set the next game time now for Roll20 for that.
Have a nice day, you guys.
Cool.
All right.
No.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Too bad. You get one anyway.
No. Boo.
As for everyone else, thanks for all for joining, and we'll see you guys next week. We'll actually go and raid someone real quick. Well, if there is someone. Zeta is playing Phasmophobia. Yep, that's the one. So, have a nice day, everyone. Have a nice night. See you guys next week. And stay tuned for more streams this week, because I plan to do streams.